Jesus. Had a shit sleep. Stomach's bothering me. Another week. Are we live, guys? John, are we on?
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Live.
Wow.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Minifan Network show. MNS, as they're calling it on the streets. New panel this week. So the Redemption Tour, the Clout King is back. Former host of Mike and the Minifans. BA, welcome.
Thank you. I would say a cloak connoisseur. I'm a cloak connoisseur these days, but pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
And Bobby, is it in the corner?
Right here.
Bobby Costa. How do you relate to the show again?
Just a big fan. Been dying for this opportunity to meet you, Menners.
Great.
Pumped to be here. Just hoping to just meet you face to face.
It's great to have you on. How are you related to KMS again?
Well, I've done a couple outro songs.
Yep.
I don't know
you're that guy. You
Tennessee
do the
Coleman.
You do the Mutt song. I love the Mutt
yes,
song.
that one as well. Yeah.
People have said he's the most played parody song artist in KMS history.
Yeah. I got to say, as much as I hated, and I've said this to you privately, as much as I hated the first song that was closing the show, I love the Mutt song so much. It's tinged with a little bit of, I guess, bitterness now that Mutt's been allowed back in the premises. But that aside, that it is like an amazing piece of art.
Right. Not to toot my own horn, but I kind of agree. And I think it kind of, speaks to how Bob Dylan like I am, that I can just shift, at a moment's note. You don't like that genre, so I just here's a new one for you. So,
also shows like something Mayo talks about a lot of, like growth mindset, where you took on board the feedback and you came back with a better song.
That's right. That's
the first song was just so depressing. What was the tune again?
Tennessee Whiskey.
Honestly,
I wasn't intending for it to be played every episode.
I know you weren't, but it was like, I'm honest to God, I had sweats about getting to the end of a show and not being within reach of my phone to pause that song. I'm not joking. It was like PTSD.
Wow.
Anyway, welcome to MNS. Thanks for coming in to the show, Bobby. So it's actually 2 second-time appearances. BA has been on the main show once, and so is Roberto Costa.
Wow. Damn.
And then my producer in the bottom right corner is unfortunately back from bereavement leave. John from Scranton. John, what did you think of the job Quinlan did last week?
I didn't watch. I heard it was a good show.
You didn't watch?
I watched. You did a good job. It's good.
Do you want to turn your mic up so we can hear you?
It's good now. We have
best producer in the business.
Yeah, we have a good backup.
Great sense of humor too.
Great.
What's wrong with you today?
Nothing, dude. I'm so ready for clips, dude. I'm so ready. I have 30 plus.
But you got to admit, Quinlan did a great job.
He did great. Tommy's the best. That's why I did a show, Hot or Not, with him originally, because I think Minifans give him a bad rap. I think Tommy is a literal hardcore Minifan now, and it's good to see him getting more involved with shit. And Hot or Not going to the fucking moon.
Yeah, I wouldn't maybe agree with all of what you just said, but I will say he did a great job producing last week. Like, you pulled out last minute, left me in the lurch.
I didn't. I told you many days ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. It was a couple of days ahead, and you can't predict when someone's grandfather's going to die. So I totally.
No, we literally were able to. We were able to predict it, so I could get you a little early warning. But like you said, I'm just stacking bodies.
Anyway, so
that's what I heard. There were several grandparents.
Yeah. Go find me a clip of all the grandparents you're telling me about.
What are you talking about? I've got all these messages of you. I won't be at that show. I've got my grandparents.
Show the fucking receipt.
Cousin
I took a week off.
My family comes first. My homework.
I wanted to hang out with Carm because I'm a fucking great boyfriend, unlike you.
Blood runs thicker. Come on.
Shut up, Bobby.
Familia.
But But Quinlan did it. Quinlan did a great job.
He did.
He really did get all the clips together. He got some interesting stories. Like, I actually was nice to see him in that light. You know, I know you like, because to actually see him produce something like, you know, when he babbles away on your shows, there's not a lot of value to that. It's entertaining, but you know, he stood up. He's a pro.
Well, you made me listen to what I would consider way too much of Tommy's solo radio show today.
Yes.
And he's great on that too.
Yeah, we'll get to there because there was some clips that John's got ready. Also, John, this is a particular shout out to Tim and Jackson. I think you listened to the Unrelated show for the first time.
No. I the first one I listened to was the one with Montante, I believe.
Okay, so your second time to get clips.
Second or third, yeah.
I know how it's so behind the scenes viewers. John hates doing the show, the MNS. I was like, can you please listen to Menace live from Friday night so we don't repeat every topic, because all the notes were full of topics that I'd already talked about. And he wouldn't do it. And then he goes, okay, I'll watch it because he's at least diligent.
Let's tell the real story. There were no notes before I watched it. I asked Menners to give me the timestamps of his own show that he wanted to talk about. Fucking
because you wouldn't watch it.
No shit. I don't want to watch you and Justin talk
there
about
you go.
3 days
you're
ago.
Producing MNS. Like, there's literally nothing on. Yeah, you admit
Menners,
it. Okay.
you were there. Tell me what was fucking good. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not much.
Anyway, applications. I've got this like 2 weeks left before Kirk comes back. So applications. If you want to produce a show, right, and you can be the.
Should you do it? Maybe do a producer search.
Well, I think guest producers as well.
You should do a producer search.
Yeah, and I could be like Dave and just stand in the other room while it's happening.
Yeah, like get Coleman a go. Anyway, look, you said it there. That's.
Listen,
but you
we
did
have
watch
a good
it.
number 2
You did
now.
watch it, and was it good? Me and Justin, you did watch it.
No, it wasn't good. I said last night, Justin, I don't know why, when he comes on network shows, he loses a little bit of his fire. He doesn't have Kirk there to spark him up.
Bullshit. But the other thing is, he's so shit scared of criticizing. Go on, yep.
Sorry, I just got done watching it like 5 minutes ago.
Did you like it?
I did enjoy it, but I agree with what John was just saying. There were a lot of like one-word short answers by Justin where it was like he was hiding something.
Yeah.
I was like,
I do always love to see the Justin defense of Kirk for no matter
Bobby,
what.
I don't think you can criticize Justin. Before I put on this podcast called Flop University, it was the
great podcast.
Load of
I heard you listen to one episode, you go back, listen to them all.
I knew I was in trouble when your co-host goes, big news. I bought a driver over the weekend.
Dude, that was how
you started your show. That was how you started your show.
Well,
that's big news.
I never said I like my co-host. I don't think he's very good, but the Bobby part of it. But no, it's definitely, there's a generational sort of divide with our listeners. But
see, I see what Menners is. I see what Menners is.
Old.
I see what Menners is doing here, because I was in the MNS pre-show meeting yesterday, and they were discussing how do we do a hostile takeover and get Flop University to the network. So this is Menners' negotiation. He's trying to put you down and say, you know what, I can help with it, and get. That's what he's trying to do.
To get the value low. So I want to. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Congratulations. Welcome to the team, buddy.
You just call me old, Bobby. That's horse shit.
Are you wearing makeup, Menners? You look like you're wearing makeup.
You look like you're wearing
I've got studio lights on. But I'm tired. I had a shit sleep. Went for a run this morning.
You know what helps with sleep? Jeff D. Lowe's new magic nose.
Stomach's bothering me.
Jeff D. Lowe's magic nose.
Yes.
That helps with sleep.
I had a nose job, so I don't have sleep apnea.
So I think Jeff D. Lowe may be down really bad on March Madness, because the guy's hyping fly-by-night nose powers. Also, I want to point out he must have injured his wrist. A good friend of the Fawns and a good friend of the show, Pat from Lawrence, only had 96% of his wrist, and he couldn't work for 5 years. So
true. So Jeff, keep an eye on that.
Yeah. How much do you think you got paid for that spot?
Hundreds of dollars, maybe.
Did he tag the company? I don't think he tagged the company, though.
Okay,
dude, he's just looking out for his fellow brothers and sisters, dude. He just wants good sleep.
Yeah. So we've got all these clips to get through, lots of topics, a couple of things. I guess the major news of the day is Kirk Minifan made a stunning return. So John, what clips have you got from Kirk today?
We got a bunch. Where do we want to start? Do we want to talk about April 16th first?
What's April 16th?
So Bill Belichick's birthday.
It's when they return, you dummy. But the thing was, it was kind of crazy when Justin jumped like a lunatic when Kirk entered the studio.
He can't quit the bits. He's a bit guy. He can't quit the bits.
Right? Is that a genuine reaction?
I think I can't work it out.
I'm very flinchy as well, so I would.
I think it's because after the tornado or the earthquake, now Justin goes overboard. I think this is an.
Shit!
Yeah. See, you got me.
You could fake it. You could fake it.
That was good.
That was real.
You thought it was real?
Yes, it
was really good. But yeah, I think it's an under the radar bit by Justin.
All right. What else, John? Play the clips.
I want to congratulate you. The camera angle has been taken.
Let's see here. Hold on. Justin, the video does look better. So I agree. The full screen looks better with the little border than what we were doing before with the two shot. You know what I mean? I agree. So then when Brando comes in next.
That's the first clip you played on KMS.
Sneakers is telling us to wrap it up.
Welcome back, John.
I want to congratulate you for the studio. I have 30 clips. That's where we went, Menners. You piece of shit.
Where's Quinlan? Quinlan back.
Sorry, I didn't bring up a fucking story about a goddamn koala in fucking Australia. That's just out of the blue. Fucking Quinlan brings a fucking Australian story.
What was that even about?
Fucking scary.
I know, I get it, John. To be fair to John, I've been saying for a long time they need to.
Me and you have been talking about this for months. That was the first thing I wanted to get to was congratulate you and your little
not self-obsessed at all. This is why Mincel Intel was such a great show. But yeah, that's better. That is better. But the real test will be when they have the full setup. I mean, it's easy to get two people.
That's a great
cameras,
point.
right?
What are your thoughts on where the studio is right now? It kind of sounds like it just got a lick of paint and just a bunch of tech in, which Kirk then today said there might not even be a video show.
Yeah, so. I would ignore that. Of course, they're going to be on YouTube. That was just Kirk was in a bad mood today. Yeah. Probably just. Yeah,
he was lashing out on people, child rapers and stuff. That wasn't fair. Let's talk about April 16th, though.
Anyway,
take out the KMS logo so you can put in the case logo behind you.
Yeah, I would just leave the case logo
at all times.
Don't you think? I mean, that's for the. Sounds like that's where the money's going to be.
That's what you care.
What's it down the bottom?
Well, no, it's just what I'm going to be doing. Yeah. You know, I mean, YouTube. April 16th is distracting.
Right.
That
was a great find by you this weekend. No. I got frustrated with that.
Do
you hate that too? Like if I sent you something, you get mad that you didn't find it.
What is this?
No,
I can't.
Can you play the clip of him talking about sneaks? That was interesting.
All right. Well, the first thing was he comes back and he's pissing himself about he's
whoops.
he comes back and he doesn't want to do the show anymore. He says he's not missing it, which is fine. He needed a break. He absolutely needed a break. He also said he's not watching any of the network stuff, which I wouldn't watch the network stuff. If I'm taking a break, because the stuff we say is going to infuriate him. And so he would want to then go on and tell us all what idiots we are. So I totally get it. He's kind of totally switched off. He did seem to know some of the points brought up on MS, or Mena's Live, because he knew exactly what I was talking about with Portnoy last week. But this is a guy on holiday.
He's watching everything. He's watching everything, though, Menners. He knew about the sneakers tweet, the Kane thing about him being lazy.
He said he's on Twitter, dummy.
Yeah, but that was a cop out. He was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm following on Twitter." You know how Kirk is.
Yeah, but there's no way, for example, he watched the Unrelated show, or watched all of Mena's Live, or
no one watches that. But he's definitely following
the recent.
It's okay if I don't watch it though, Menners, you little shit.
But I thought it was funny. Do you have the clip of him talking about sneaks, or no? That's not one of them.
No, I didn't. I didn't want to bring child rape into it.
Okay. It was funny where he was, as soon as Sneaks comments in the chat, he's like, oh, I'm not going to be friends with him anymore and talk to or message him. Like Kirk's addicted to messaging Sneaks. Like he walked
Shut
it back.
up. Yeah, you're such a child.
No, but he is. I'm saying.
Walked it back, though. He
Little
did.
babe.
But it was
He
funny
did.
how his
Back.
defense was like, I'm not talking to Sneakers anymore privately. Like that was
Silent
funny.
treatment.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to give him the
That
silent
used to be
treatment.
Menners. That used to be Menners. He
Yeah,
missed that.
so Manners is jealous he doesn't have that relationship.
Wants to be the bad boy again.
Yeah, but don't you
He's just
think
a little soft pussy.
don't you think it's a bit of what I said before, that Kirk would be frustrated being on the sidelines? Like, he wants to go on and talk shit about people that are giving it to him, but he's decided not to. So there's that sort of simmering tension, and I think we saw it today.
I just heard you say it on Menner's Live, where like you can't really do the half break, half not break. Like you gotta either decide, and when you are doing the half thing, then I'm sure he probably is thinking about the show, whether he wants to or not.
Yeah.
Well,
do
he
you have
actually,
do you have any good clips from today, John?
Voila, the best clip yet.
It's a sad bit. Applicants, please let me know. We can,
I got him talking about Dead Guy. This kind of shocked me about
yes.
Dead Guy.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't like him after that. Like I hope everything works out for him health wise, I suppose, but I don't like that. I don't like this. Like you're, using we raise money for. When I saw that, I was like, this guy's just fucking dumb on me.
Right. All right. We have a bunch of other dumb topics, but I don't want to waste your time.
Go ahead.
They're dumb. They're
that was amazing. That Dying Guy messaged Kirk. I mean, this is MNS, my show, BA. So
sorry,
let me
I
go first, then
apologize.
you- Yep, it's like KMS, except I'm. Anyway, so I cannot believe Dying Guy had the audacity to message Kirk and say, "I don't like my job anymore. Can you employ me, or can Barstool give me a job?" Like, wildest thing I've ever seen or heard.
He also only took a 24-hour break from Twitter, and he's back to tweeting.
It's a little siesta. I also hate my job and don't want to work there anymore. So I didn't know you could just, if that's how it goes.
Yeah, just ask Kirk. He'll give you a job.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was
university.
shocked the most about, is that like Kirk bought into it for a while, and then he just went downhill from there, very downhill. Starting it off by saying he Portnoy chokes prostitutes is crazy. That's ballsy. That's a guy who's got nothing to live for,
It's like,
So-
shooting from the hip.
So, do I understand it then that Dying Guy deludedly writes to Kirk, asks for a job, then Kirk says, "Well, you got to try and do something to get noticed," and Dying Guy then writes this terrible blog. So it's like kind of Kirk's fault for encouraging him. Like Dying Guy just misread this whole thing and just wrote this terrible blog to try and get attention. He really needed to run that blog by someone before hitting publish.
I think he was trying to like write the blog in like Kirk's tone, where it's like, "Oh, I'm calling out Dave, but it's cool.
Yes.
We're equals."
Roberto Correcto.
What I think is weird is these like the Minifans or whatever that go on Twitter to announce that they're going on a break. Like no one, if you're off Twitter for a couple of days, you don't really need to tell the whole world.
No.
Like you could just like not like him, Shark Minahan, OCD. His OCD's getting to him. He needs to take a break. Like if you're friends with people, message them privately, or you just could be off for a couple of days. You don't have to tell the world, But the guy's dying. So, I don't know, and he did take Kirk's advice. So is this Kirk's fault? Maybe.
No, I just think Dying Guy's an asshole. I think Kirk nailed it. He's just an asshole. Like that, because to just write to someone and go, "I don't like my job. Like, can you give me a job?" is an asshole move.
Didn't you ask for a job? No, you
never.
He didn't ask just for a job. He asked for a 2-year contract with a guarantee.
That's negotiating.
That's different. That's different. I have
that's different.
history behind me, and I actually can do stuff in media, unlike
There you go.
Guy.
That's true.
Speaking of complimenting,
Bobby, is your whole family watching this downstairs on the big screen?
No,
Your dad
Pops is in bed. He might catch this in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's seen your face a bunch of times, so he knows you, but he won't know what we're really talking about.
Yeah, right. What's your dad's name? First name?
Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Rob Senior, yeah.
Rob
Oh,
Senior.
what an invention.
So you're a junior?
family. Hey,
I'm a
Rob
junior.
Senior.
Matters. He's not.
All right, I will show him that.
And actually, my middle name is Robert too. So
Get
Oh
the
my
fuck
God.
out.
My
What?
cousin's name is Robert.
yeah, my grandfather's first name was Robert, but he was murdered. So my middle name is Robert.
Jesus.
after.
Oh fuck! Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You
All
wanna
right.
Hear, you want to hear Justin congratulating you for doing a good job, or do we want to
So
hear?
can I give
Justin's
you
back
just
today?
one bit of advice, right? And this is dead serious.
I
Don't say
I'd
what's
be
in
happy to talk to him about it, but like I'm just I have to say I don't miss the show one bit. Normally I'm gone. I'm like eager to do the show again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't miss the show at all.
What about like when it's like when funny things happen? You got to miss that.
What funny things have happened?
I don't know. Like all of a sudden you find out Justin has been, whether it's his Lego collection or something like that. Like those types of moments.
Or you find out that
You can't-
Dave's brother is a flaming homosexual.
Whoa, what the fuck was that? What the shit was that?
I was
That was a
thinking
cheap
that.
shot.
It really was. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was, before you really interrupted me, don't say what's in the clip. Just say I'm going to play. a
I will
clip,
say,
and
like,
then
shout out like Manners. I do think he's doing a good job with the network.
Definitely is. Yeah.
Like it during the break.
Yep.
He's still putting out consistent shows, having people do consistent shows. I know.
Yeah. Are you mad that he just called out Menners and saying for help, and here you are producing
no, as a-
content
as-
and
as
going
a
on other
C- as a
shows
C-
and you didn't
as
say
a-
I'm a loyal soldier.
No, I'm talking about like
Congratulations, buddy.
Great clip.
The network
thing
is doing great.
with the camera angles. It is weird because you've got Justin's face like that, and then you've got everyone else sitting back. So they still actually can't get it right.
But on that one clip where Kirk said he doesn't miss KMS at all, the guy sees the producer show goes live and drives into studio to try to get on for 15 minutes. So
It's doing
if so
the bits
facto,
again.
no, that's not a bit. If so facto, I think he does miss KMS. If so facto.
That's a good point, by Mike. I mean, yeah.
Mikey Grabbags asked me to do his Brando impression. I could do it if you guys want.
It was interesting seeing Kirk being obsessed with the chat for the first time. Like he'd never. I don't know what they've done so he can see the chat, but just the fact that he just used Apple Pay for the first time 2 weeks ago, and like he's like, oh, there's a YouTube chat. Like we forget he's a bit of a dinosaur, and I'm the same age as him.
Yeah.
Not
So
floppy.
you are old. So Bobby was right.
Everyone turn into the Brando show tomorrow with Jeff D'Lo and myself. We're going to be doing a great job.
Jeff D'Lo's getting ready.
That was my
Hey, Bobby, how are you going with the break from KMS?
So I'm actually doing way better than everyone else because I have a ton of episodes that I haven't heard. So I've just been kind of having.
So when did you come on board KMS as a listener?
Producer search.
Producer search. Okay, so only a couple of
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
So are you
and
going back to the beginning and just listening to the whole catalog?
I don't like doing it in order. I just I'll scroll to a random one and just
Oh, I
see
like
what
that.
I get. I love it.
Actually, speaking about that, I think
Shut up for a sec. That doesn't make sense because there are storylines, and
Then I'll, if
I'm trying to
if
just
I,
shoehorn all your dumb points in there.
if I
No,
find
this one
myself
made
in the
sense.
middle of something,
This one
then
made sense.
I'll go to the origin.
I was gonna say a point about that. The confused duck recaps, K. Marco Saga, Best of Steve Robinson. Those are some good things to listen to for if you're the. It was funny to have that flashback through memory lane, So those are some good things. But I also wanted to say the fucking they did the one episode of On This Day, March 17th, and then they never.
I knew you wanted to get something, and here we go.
Yeah, but they
We
did
got
that
there.
one
We got
episode of On This Day on March
So
17th.
be specific.
great.
Who did this?
Maybe Fax. I don't know who did it.
It was
But
a facts project.
so Fax does one day, and then there's more than one day in the week. Like that could have been something good, especially during the break. But these guys are lazy. Like Fax is a lazy intern. It's for guys like Bobby who are like, oh, I'm just picking a random show. That could have been they could have had On This Day for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
100%.
But Confused Duck is doing a great job. I think he has an eye for the story, eye for the clip. So maybe Confused Duck should take that over.
you've got to say Fax has slipped through the Doge fingertips. Like somehow this got past Doge because this shouldn't still be going on. Like Trump's been in office for 6 weeks now. Like what's going on here?
The
Yeah.
clerical
But like,
error. Right
it's
there.
just lazy. Like you come up with a good idea and then you just do it at one time and then stop doing it. Like,
But the thing is, Bobby, I could not do that. Like, why don't you just go through in order? It makes way
That
more
feels-
sense.
I don't think I could do that. That
That's
feels
impossible.
Like haunting. Yeah.
that's impossible.
because then
Coleman
no, 'cause
tried
I've done
and
that.
never-
I've done that. Like you go through old podcasts and you just slowly chip through them. Like,
Yeah, but how long would that take? Like a fucking.
I listened to
years?
600 episodes of a show last year.
I'll
Word
get sick
Bobby's
of an
young,
era.
hung, and full of
He's
cum.
trying to
He's going out
push-
on Friday
he's
nights.
not fucking-
He's
Guilty.
not listening to podcasts. You know.
Guilty.
I'll listen to like 2 Steve episodes in a row, and then I'll be like, all right, that's enough, Steve.
I like the jumping around idea. There's no reason you have to follow shit that happened back in the day when the show itself won't even remember the shit they're talking about.
Yeah. But if,
It
like I
needs-
said,
needs
if I
to
find
stop.
myself like in the middle of a 3-episode arc, then I'll go to the source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fans will hold that against you, though.
I would
Like,
say listen to the 2 Duck products on the Minifan network channel. It's there were 2 great products.
They're actually
Oh,
on the Minifan network.
Yeah, Minifan network. Sorry, Minifan network channel.
Shane Mudgett as well. The history of KMS. I listened to all that in like one day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
The
those
other
are
thing-
good. Those are good things.
Yeah, I was listening to the Unrelated show, and they were you were talking about how everything's really big. You've got big shoes, big meat, big hands, and you also said you got like a thing with your heart valve. Like your doctor told you can't do cocaine, otherwise you could die. And I'm just want to let you know what they do is they say that to all kids to try and scare them off drugs.
Really? But
I'm sure you will be fine.
I'll
BA,
try it.
But I had open heart surgery.
well,
Maybe not.
cocaine will
I
find
didn't
you
have
a
open heart
friend.
surgery.
That's what I like I have an actual heart issue. That's
Yeah.
why I think he said that.
Oh, right.
Maybe
okay.
stay away.
Well, if you had
I-
open heart surgery, I think you have heart issue too.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. That's
How
I don't
old were
think-
you when you had open heart surgery?
15,
Wow. And how old are you now?
23.
Jesus. So what, you had like bypasses or a valve put in?
Valve just kind of chopped up and made smaller, and I think I don't
Does
know.
it piss you off to just see me living the way I live and you had to go through all that?
Dude, now I pretty much live that way, within reason.
Awesome. So we'll get into we'll dabble into a little illicits maybe down the road.
Or yeah, just none of the white stuff. I'll drink.
If you ever need
take
help
that
with
advice back.
If you ever need help with a bag,
Yeah, Doc's orders. No.
Yes. If you've had open heart surgery, but they do say that. Like my doctor said to me when I was growing up, I used to work in blah blah, and there are a lot of people doing cocaine. There are a lot of heart attacks. You got to be careful. Like they do try and scare you with that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Just on the Unrelated show, how uncomfortable. Well, I guess Tim's camera was off, but it was very uncomfortable. Like Tim's whole tone around you is a little creepy. Like he knows everything about you, every little detail. Like there was this weird noise while during the Unrelated show, just this soft sort of padding noise. His camera was off. It was very
that could have
very-
been anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like your traditional narcissist. So when anybody takes an interest in me, I'm like, oh hell yeah, that's
Same,
cool.
bro.
Think something fascinating. So
Can I just
Um,
hit Bobby, I want to hit a clip. Tim Smith and me may have battled in the past, but he truly is a legend.
You say that you sing every night.
Yes. I've got
What did you
that on
sing
my
last
list.
night?
Yeah.
What did you sing last night?
what did I?
So
we
again,
can
so
pull-
just
let's pull.
sorry,
let's
Bobby.
pull the
So
YouTube
just for-
history.
so
So
for,
do you
for
do-
context, Bobby
and-
stated that he does.
that's just not fair. Oh, that's funny.
John and Tim hate each other.
I'm
Yeah,
very
we love each
surprised.
other.
I didn't even know this.
Tim's
Well,
a
see-
scumbag. Tim's a scumbag.
Well,
Anonymous
why
scumbag.
do you say that, BA?
He's an anonymous scumbag. He's like he knows every little piece of information about everyone else, but he won't show his face. He won't face the light. He's just a scumbag. He's
This
a scumbag.
guy would have, if I did
Is it
anything
because he
like
and
that,
Jackson-
clip, he would have had it on Twitter in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Is it because Jackson and him had vodka on their show?
Well, they have vodka on, say Mean Sneaks are calling his work, and then the next day they're like, "Oh, we would never have him on, BA. We didn't know the story. blah blah blah, and then I hate two-faced people. Like if you're, I hate people that are two-faced. And he's no face. So
he has no face.
Yeah, like Bobby, you got to admit, it's weird for Tim to have gone this long without putting his camera on. Like, it's fine. But
I'm awfully curious. You
yes,
know, he's one of my favorite Australian podcasters. So
agree. I had to block him actually the other night because, and this is boring, but you know, you can air things on the network through StreamYard, or you can just directly upload it to YouTube. So a lot of things are recorded in StreamYard, so we just use that. But Tim, you know, needs to do everything his own stupid British way. Honestly, the Revolutionary War sounds so good now, and so I put it straight to YouTube, and he's messaging me at like 11 at night on Sunday. Why is it straight through YouTube? We're going to lose viewers, blah, 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 blah. I just blocked him.
Who even was watching his stupid show? Like, what a loser.
They do a good show. You're being very, very sensitive about this.
And, but yeah, that just got stay on that point. Did you
This is one thing. Oh yeah, the greatest show. Hey, whatever.
But yeah, that just stay on that point.
Again,
like none of the shows are.
This is not made. It's not meeting the minds.
100 times.
This is not meeting the minds, John.
None of the shows are really that good, but it's just
they do a great job. They're good guys. Tim's annoying. They had vodka on for some. Just I understand you've got your things with them, but as someone who like goes on shows with all types of scumbags who've done all types of shit, I think it's a weird to just
cross the eye.
I don't
all
go
of a sudden.
I don't go. Everyone that I go on has honor and integrity.
Wagon has a lot lot of honor.
Wagon stuff has already been dealt with.
You yuck it up with him. No.
But Wagon stuff's been dealt with. He was drunk and sloppy. Like that's what it was.
Okay, great. So you're just giving sexual assault a pass. That's
he didn't do
great
it.
guy.
He
Yeah. You're making Tim and Jackson look really good now.
And but yeah, that
oh my god! Please, applications for producer next week. All right, John. What else? What we got?
I got another.
I agree.
Thanks, dude. People used to. We did music.
All right, John. Let's do a show here. Come on.
Shut up.
Yeah, John.
You're so boring. Shut up. Or pay attention to the fucking sheet. You're not prepared, Menners. What do you have? Go ahead.
What do you think? No. What else?
Go ahead.
I would love to talk about the Fonz.
There's a show called What Else.
We're 33 minutes into the show, and I've hardly gone to you for a topic. So what else?
And
do your fucking job.
Do my job.
Yes.
You do your
What
job
else?
and pay attention to the fucking sheet.
I've got the sheet.
You haven't looked at it once.
It's not a
you
fucking
don't know what I'm
script. You know
talking
how-
about.
do you know how
didn't look
KMS
at it the
works?
whole week.
It's not a
You're
fucking
doing the
script.
same thing, you
I'm
little
the host,
tiny
and I
shit.
go,
You're
what
doing the
else?
same
And
thing
you
that you're
go-
accusing me of, Menners. Shut
Michigan man said this show stinks. Michigan man said this show stinks in the
He's
chat.
right. John is killing this show. It
Good.
was so good.
But I want to.
Yeah, there we go. What else? What have you got?
BA sent this one.
And you also you make a lot of soup. How did that start when you started making soup? I know you donate to people online or from Facebook or whatever. And I've seen you make a bunch of the soups. I know I don't see your posts per se, but I do.
Well, that clip, Larry Kane is just interviewing some guy about making soup on the network. Like, what the fuck? Kane,
I understand you like soup.
I understand you make some soup. Let me
We do have to talk about this. Does Kane like just hop on there whenever he feels like it and like cook up mac and cheese? And is that allowed? But we can't have the fucking Fonz on there, Menners.
I
Yes. Yeah,
I thought the Fonz is on.
I will say, I said we'll give the Fonz a go. What did I say?
We'll give it a go.
Yeah, and see if it's good. And
It will be.
And I had a meeting with Kane before this about Kane's crazy kitchen, and
That's right.
we've been working on how to enhance that show. So he's got a new camera. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. He's going to bench Kane's corner for a while, and it's going to be Kane's crazy kitchen.
When you're interviewing a guy about how did you get into making soups, you got to look inward. I think you really got to look inward. Also, Kane is addicted to being made fun of. Like he's addicted to everyone hating him. It's the craziest like addiction. He just says, I feel like he just does it all so everyone makes fun of him. Like I can't wrap my head around him. But
isn't there a name for that?
What is it? Is there a name for it?
Someone that loves like humiliation or something. I think it's like a kink or something.
Yeah, it's like a kink. Like he probably
I would not be surprised if he's into that kind of kink. Like that girl's just pegging him.
Oh, he gets pegged for sure. He's getting pegged. He's getting pegged while he's cooking chicken linguine on his stovetop, you know. So, but yeah, he's Kane's an interesting fella. But
yeah,
but it's
so,
a kink.
all right, so let's go to the Quinlan audio. Let's go to the other topics. I mean, John's dying tonight in the producer chair. But,
you got one clip from Tommy Quinlan's podcast complaining that
you're the
he's
producer.
Gay.
I was not in a real good mental space at the time. You know, for anybody that's followed me on social media, I had a very public coming out on Barstool Sports' Kirk Menahan Show podcast that I wasn't necessarily ready for. And it coincided at the same time with me getting banned from the Revs. And I really didn't know how to tell that story without being angry and blowing up. And I'm able to talk about this today because I don't feel that same anger and resentment that I felt last year.
Okay, so I love Tommy a lot, and I think the Revs have really fucked up here. Like he shouldn't be banned. So I'm team Tommy.
Anti-gay?
I would have to say so, right?
Yeah,
but I think that's good for him. It's good to have an enemy.
But just the tone there where he talks about his public coming out that he wasn't quite ready for. Anybody that heard that audio knows he was ready to come out. And Kirk didn't pull, he didn't poke. Like if you're a straight guy, if you're a guy in the closet and someone asks you, are you dating or what's your situation? You would have a number of covers ready to go. So he wanted it to come out. It was, as I said, it just feels to me a bit whiny. Do you have that? He says the same thing a bit later on.
No.
No one pulled that out. No one pulled that. Like Bobby, no one made Tommy come out.
No, I listened to that for sure. I remember it exactly. Like he asked him like gay, straight, what, and he's like, why do we have to get into that? It's like the second you say that sentence, then it opens up the whole. You could have just said one word, straight next. But
you could just say I'm a bachelor, I'm having a good time.
Or anything, yeah.
So yeah, Tommy's a great guy, but he's got his and that whole podcast was him just whining about, what the revolution did to him. He talks about his public coming out and, that being on his family. And it's not my favorite version of Tommy. I much prefer the Tommy we got on MNS and the Tommy we see a Hot or Not, where he's not taking himself as seriously.
What about on stage?
On stage was he's an electric stage presence, has electric presence. His dad used to be a basketball coach, but he didn't get into athletics because he was gay.
So when all the other kids were playing basketball, he was broadcasting, I guess.
Oh, this is a good point by Duck. Snapping illicit pictures of Rev players in the locker room is a legit reason to be fired. So is it they didn't want a gay guy in the locker room?
No, if you listen to the podcast, apparently he broke a couple of stories that they were trying to keep quiet. He's got some good sources from the locker room. We probably know how.
He's banging. Soccer players are gay. There's probably a lot more gay soccer players than any other sport. I'm a soccer player too, so I can say that.
I don't abide by those stereotypes.
I'm just saying. I've done the stats, and I'm right.
So other stories, John. There was a few things under the Quinlan thing. I've got one about Australia that kind of Trump's at war with Canada, but he's also at war with Australia. So he's pulled $600 million. Yeah, listen, different story, but anyway. Sorry, no, that's fine. That was next to it, but he's pulled 600 million.
The wrong link. That's the only link you gave me. How could it be the wrong fucking story?
No,
You're sabotaging me. You're a piece
Did I
of
say
shit.
play it? Did I say play it? I didn't say play anything.
I hate you so much.
Just relax.
Canadian politics is hot right now. If you want to get into it,
So Trump has taken $600 million out of research funding out of Australian universities. And now I'm going to read out some great Aussie inventions, and you are going to be surprised at what we invented. All right. So we invented Wi-Fi, right? We invented pacemakers. So I'm sure we're keeping Bobby alive.
Actually, the ancient Egyptians invented Wi-Fi. If you actually get that old.
We invented the black box flight recorder. So we invented the electric drill. We invented, have you heard of something called Google Maps? We invented something called cochlear implants. We invented the tank.
Have you ever heard of insulin? Canada invented it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, this is what you're taking. You're going to take this money out of Australia, and it's bad. It's bad for Australia. It's bad for the world.
It's good for America.
Bobby, what do you think? Are you a Trump guy?
Well, I'm not a politics guy whatsoever, but I just as an American, I want, my relationship with all nations to be great. So that I don't like this. I want.
Thank you.
I want to be shaking hands across America.
We went to war with America in a number of times in the Middle East, Vietnam.
How did those go?
Pacific. We've been allies for a long, long time. So sad to see Trump destroying that. I bring up that story. I just thought it was funny. Zach Bryan has landed in Australia and he's now got an Aussie girlfriend. So chicken fried to
an Australian girlfriend.
We have a picture of the fine young lady.
I think this is just Brianna Chicken Fried talking.
Well,
here we go.
Shrimp on the Barbie fry.
So John,
zoom in.
So John never scrolled down.
My God, I have to read your fucking articles for you too.
It's all right, John.
Toes? Are those toes?
Open toes.
Open toes.
She's cute. She's very cute.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, how are you? Wow.
So Zach Bryan's in town.
Bobby,
for a guy that looks half retarded, he pulls pretty good looking girls. I guess it's his talent,
his money.
Money.
I'm seeing Dua Lipa on Saturday night.
Get that.
I think Brianna Chicken Fry should have taken
Rest
that
in peace, Jon Stewart.
What did you say?
She should have taken that money.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I
of
agree.
course. Go back.
I bet she regrets it now.
Because she doesn't do that podcast anymore, does she? What does she do now? Or does Dave just not do that podcast with them anymore?
No, Dave doesn't do it. I think she does it with the other guy.
Though.
So as Bobby, someone in Logan Paul's generation, kind of, do you sort of identify as Portnoy as someone in your gen?
No, not whatsoever at all. But I almost knew what he was saying when he said that. Like they became popular sort of at the same time. But to say, guys in my generation like Jake Paul, like you sound ridiculous if you're earnestly going to say that. But I think he was trying to say like they rose to fame sort of at the same time in the same class.
There's no way are you in the same generation then.
No.
You're being on the internet at the same time does not make you in the same generation.
Dave Portnoy paved the way for people like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, though.
Absolutely.
Instead of generation, what if he said like he's in my class? Like they came up at the same, like
like Portnoy's that a guy in university that did it when he was like 35 years old and he's graduating with the 19-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Right. He's Tommy Boy.
He's Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Man, I get him. I get him.
I saw Portnoy was on what's it called too? Family Guy.
Yes.
Bobby mentioned that too. People are saying Tommy Quinlan said it was a little too woke though, surprisingly.
Well, what I didn't like about the Family Guy thing is they were shitting on Barstool fans and Barstool not in a playful way. They were, I watched the clip before we went on. It was very disappointing. I thought those guys would be get it a bit more. And then they were like making, the joke about, don't call me that. I only use that name in court.
Yeah.
And then the, all the MAGA people lining up at a Barstool event or whatever they said.
Oh, God.
Tommy Quinlan said they were too woke. He said that they were too woke.
Reported and understood. I had the clip. It's a little long though. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah,
play
let's not watch it. Let's not watch it.
I thought it just sucked, and I thought, you're gonna go through all that trouble. He didn't even fucking it was a shitty impression. He didn't even say, "All right, Frankie," which is like the whole thing. He's just like, pizza. Like, he didn't sound. He's like, "Hey, I'm fucking Dave Portnoy, dude. I'm from Boston." Like, that's not what he sounds like at all.
And like Tommy Quinlan said, they're making Barstool seem like far right assholes. When
yeah, so
that's
what I said before. Well,
that doesn't surprise me at all, though.
I was listening.
I think
actually no, I wasn't.
You just repeated what I said. That's
you
what I
did
said.
just repeat, and before that, you kind of repeated what someone else said, but it was
Stop reading the chat, BA. Turn it off for a minute.
No,
do the fucking show. Do the fucking show. This is what BA. I'm not reading it.
I haven't even met. I'm waiting to bring up the fawns. I wanted to talk about the fawns.
All right. So we'll give John a minute to get his shit together in the box there. What else? What have you got? Anything, Bobby, you want to talk about? Is sort of. You can say no if you don't. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, you guys took all the good topics. I don't know. I'm just pumped to be here.
I respected Bobby because he came to me with two topics. One was Portnoy, and the second one was a Portnoy topic.
all I could think of as I'm driving at work, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so the other
Portnoy
one I texted.
getting the book. Yeah, Portnoy having a book written about him is pretty cool, and Francis writing it.
He said Francis, which makes sense, but then he snuck in there. He's like, yeah, Francis, Tommy Smokes. I was like, snuck Tommy Smokes in there. It's like, of course,
I
he's
think
going
the
to write
way it's going to work is that there's going to be interviews with a lot of people, and then they're going to turn. That's how you write.
If you ever see those Team Portnoy press releases, though, Tommy writes all of those. Tommy writes all of those.
It's going to be puff piece if Tommy Smokes is doing it.
Portnoy lost his fat ball. Portnoy, he lost his fastball. He stinks.
Yeah. So, do you think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Just he's like it's not the same. Barstool's not the same as it used to be when Blind Mike was there. Now it's like Huffstool, right?
So do you kind of agree with Carabas?
Yes, Carabas is a friend,
good friend,
and he was right. COVID, Portnoy soft. I've heard. Yeah,
I mean, Bobby, you're a young, edgy guy. I mean, you're living the prime of your life. This is your generation. Do you look at Barstool now and think, oh, it's kind of...
But yeah, that just got.
I'm sorry. I had to.
No, I hate
electric shock.
Well, now Barstool fans are like geriatric. Like they're not fans. Yeah, it's not fans.
They're old guys. So, Bobby, do you think it still speaks to your generation? Like when you see like Chris Clemmer doing video movie reviews, haunched like a hobbit, are you like, oh, this channel's for me?
For me, yes, I've been ingratiated. Like I've actually been watching since I was 12 years old. So right. I'm in it, but my friends really don't care at all. They follow the Instagram, but they don't really, they all know who Dave is. Anyway, my guy friends know like Big Cat's like bets and shit and the can't lose parlay or whatever. But for the most part, I'm like the psycho that's like, oh my God, you see what freaking, Jersey
Reed
Jerry just said.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Was Matt Carano right? Was Matt Carano right all along, and now Barstool's irrelevant?
He did buy into Bitcoin early.
I wonder if it's just one of those things, though. Like the audience is just getting older with Barstool. It's like Call Her Daddy. Alex Cooper's audience started off talking about blowjobs, and now it's all about.
I think that's why Dave is focused on. That's why Dave is focused on bringing down his demo to younger and younger kids.
Mr. Jerry.
Maybe you got to keep reinventing yourself. Yeah. Start brainwashing them really young.
Yeah. Just like
well, thanks for all those topics, Bobby. I really appreciate it.
No, it's my pleasure.
No, it's really good. BA, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about the Fawns. the Fawns Golf Society. It's a great society. 40 plus Minifans are in the society. The next event is live. I'm hoping that we can get access to the network account so we can stream some foursomes, some good banter. Have got the likes of Bio Dude, KMS Plank Guy, Sneakers on it, and it's a really fun time. And the Fawns is keeping Kirk relevant right now, and the commish is doing a great job. Sneakers runs a tight ship. We've had people get kicked out because they're not participating, thinking they're better than the Fawns. But it's a great 40 plus Minifans for a golf society. It's a lot of fun. And I think the streams will be really, really good. Like if you get an hour and a half of just 4 guys bullshitting on the course, I think it could be funny in audio form too. And then we could do the marquee events on the weekends, like where the 420 show used to be. And you could have commentators and, it's, I think it'll be a good time. So I'm happy that to bring the Fawns brand with Commissioner Sneaks to the Minifan network and for the fans, and I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great, and I'm excited for it. I know Bobby Costa sang I think he got a singing the anthem on one of the Fawns events
many moons ago.
Every week we do the hot seat, the nasty list, the honor watch, the mental ward. So follow those. It's a fun society. It's a great society.
Dua Lipa's in Sydney. Unbelievable. Like she's getting her nails done not that far away.
Wow.
I mean, obviously she put it.
I thought Menners, you were going to join.
I wasn't listening to what you were saying. What else you got, Johnny?
Oh, what an asshole. I have another topic I can bring up. That's Candace.
All right, what is it, BA?
Do you think we get the case? Is there a 20% chance we get the case before 2026? What's the chances we get the case?
I think that's, again, I like the attempt at the bits. I mean, you certainly brought the bits tonight.
I see the smirk.
But
the Clout King is going off tonight. He's desperate for some.
But do you think we see it in Do we see the case in 2025?
Yes.
You're saying 100%. You're saying 100%.
Yes, taking time off. They've got some deals happening to do the case.
People are saying though that Kirk is the kind of guy that does the book report the night before. People are saying they do the book report the night before.
People
and
are
just admits it. It's so that's what he does with the case.
No,
That's what
I would
people are
say
saying.
the chances of it happening are a lot higher than 20%, but there's like an 80% of Cullinane like fucking up the audio somehow, like he did in season 2. Yeah, he's not a podcast producer. But Bobby,
what I was saying though, for real, Kirk has like his dream job. He goes in 3 days a week, says what's next, and talk like why is he doing all this extra stuff? Like I don't know, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Just dials
money.
But the guy doesn't.
Passion. No.
I don't know. It's just like, man, he has like this dream gig, and then he pretends like he hates it, but then he's DMing all the trolls, all the fans, all the Kimps. He's DMing people on the side. Like, he obviously loves
What's that to do with
KMS.
the case happening or not? He's rambling.
No, what I'm saying is, why even do the case? Like, he has like a dream job, and he acts like sometimes he acts like he's in
he likes to
a sweatshop doing KMS.
Exercises a different muscle. It exercises a different muscle.
I agree with that.
I understand the point. It's just like
Do you understand how lucrative it would be? Like if he's getting 500,000 downloads an episode, like as much as KMS is successful, it's probably getting 20% of that. I would say KMS gets 100K an episode. That's
starting to sound like the case is the real money maker here.
Yeah, I just for my thing, it's like the guy has a dream gig. It's like I don't know. I
don't think you can consider.
What do you mean? So he shouldn't do the case
opportunity though by doing this.
I'm saying if the case is going to hurt the KMS show, if the case is going to hurt KMS, I don't think I would do it when you have like such a good gig. Like easy, it's easy. KMS is easy. Like it's.
I'm going to take the Justin cop out. I just want Kirk to be happy. If he's happy, that overall means KMS and Kirk is going to be in media longer, and we will get more Kirk content.
So you're saying you think the case makes Kirk happier than KMS?
I think that being successful satisfies him in a way that makes him happy, that makes KMS better.
Be it Survivor or The Case or KMS. So you're saying anything he does, he kind of just.
No, I think like The Case in particular, like the fact that he's solved 2 murders now just really legitimizes him as being, a gun.
Then I think it's more about the case than the actual success of the case. I think it's about like the hunt and whatever the the
absolutely
target is. Yeah.
It would be so I think much more satisfying than turning up and you've got, Justin with his fucking crater face. You've got Cullinane looking in a mirror. You've got Blind Mike in his massive tree trunk legs. Like he needs some kind of intellectual challenging.
Sure. No, I think like I would say it's a passion project, even if it does still make a ton of money. Like it could still be I think he wants to do that, whether it's extremely lucrative or not. Maybe.
So Menners is saying Kirk's just about the money and not about the Minifans.
That's exactly.
I wasn't saying that at all. So Kirk gives us more free content than any other creator in history. He does like 4 or 5 podcasts most weeks. What about today? He could have just not gone on the producer show. He could have wandered out and come back in 15, 20 minutes, but he went in, he gave us more content. He cares about the Minifans. It's not just about the money, but BA, you know about money because of your career. You can never have too much money, so it's not a bad thing to want to earn money. Like, what are you?
There's a bunch of people that say they have too much
up in Canada. What am I
talking about? I'm not a communist. I'm not a communist. Take that back. Take that back. Take that back. Take that back.
Communist BA.
Take that back. No. I'm just saying, like, I'm
BA
like,
Trudeau.
No. Oh, that's a low blow. I'm out of here.
Wow.
I'm out of here.
Wow.
No, what I'm saying is it's like the guy legit he could just go in, say what else for 2 hours a day, 3 days a week, make a couple $100,000, and he built a pretty cool world. He could do that forever. So it's like I don't see. I'm just not a Case fan either. Like I'm never gonna watch it. I get it. It could be lucrative.
We're seeing exactly why Kirk Minahan is Kirk Minahan, and why your greatest credit has been host of the Mincel Intel show. That's why it was
great show. No, well, yeah, great show. Fawn's governor. I'm the Fawn's governor. That's probably my greatest accolade.
Brag about
that's
that.
A position of prestige, Menners.
That's a very precision.
One thing that's abundantly clear tonight is we are so lucky you quit Mike and the Minifans when you did.
Oh no! The boys like if I wasn't steering the ship. I'm the drink. I'm the guy that stirs the drink. And
the guy that stirs
and steering the ship. We would be flowing. It wouldn't have taken 45 minutes to get rolling. Look, people are saying my first topic, 20% chance the case is 2026, 15 minutes. Great conversation.
Quick quiz. Where did that who does that expression come from? Drink the straw that stirs the drink, or whatever it is.
Australia.
No, it comes from godparent Rob Bradford of Harry's godparent.
There's no
he invented that?
He invented
it's an old anyway, he used to say it all the
time. You guys ever heard of the word "the"?
No. If you're an old time Minifan, I'm like Bobby.
I thought we got rid of other people.
Bobby come lately.
I was still in diapers, Manners.
Yes, exactly. All right, what do you got for us, John? What else?
Let's do this one. We got the Beyond Average podcast gave Montante a call.
My reasons.
Honestly, good for him.
Let's call him here.
3 or 4 times.
I think. I mean, maybe he'll tell us here.
Yo.
Hey, yeah, that was quick. You are on the Beyond Average podcast, live to tape. Quick question for you, and you be as honest as you want to be. How many times do you masturbate a day?
I'm not lying. Some days we'll do 2, some days will be 4, so 3 is a genuine accurate number.
Christian is stunned by this.
Oh my!
That's insane.
A lot. You think he has calluses on his hand?
I think it gets softer, right?
Yeah. So once in the morning, once at night, and then I don't get the middle of the day one, like the number 3. Like, is he just going into a random rest
that
stop
number.
somewhere and just jerking off?
He's stopping at the scrap yards and jerking off in the porta potties, eh?
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I
remember,
think next call
he's-
they have to ask.
he has
if
a
he's done with the
girlfriend.
car.
He has a partner.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Well, that's
'Cause
the
I'm
crazy
single.
part, Bobby.
I'm single. I could do whatever I want. Guys in
Okay, so-
Montante and I's generation, that's kind of what we.
Yeah, so you're 23. Everything's healthy. Everything works okay after the operation downstairs.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Tim's messaging me to ask more details about that, but I won't. But you said you've got really big body parts, yeah?
You know it. Come on
Yeah.
now.
So would you jerk off 3 times a day? I'm not saying have you, but everyone's done it. But would
Dude,
you
with hands like that, he could suffocate the little bugger down there.
Would you do it often? Like, is it something like, oh yeah, I jerked off 3 times? Like,
listen, the way he described it, actually, he said like hungover on a Sunday, you're in bed. You could paint a picture to where that sounds very doable and not so crazy for me.
That's how I look at it. It's like some days you go on runs.
Yeah, Bobby, just do cocaine and go home alone, and I'm sure you'll get over
I can certainly see jerking off a couple of times a day, but the fact that he does it regularly is weird.
Right.
So if he's doing it 3 times a day, that's 21 times a week. That's 85 times a month.
He made it sound like 3 was a bad day too. 3
He
was
keeps
like,
those soldiers marching down there. Though.
And he's driving. You think he's definitely ripped the
That's what I'm
jerk.
saying. So do you think there's the third one of the day? You think that happens in a car?
Like he's definitely ripped a jerk while driving and talking to a Minifan on the phone. Like,
I think it starts in the car, but it ends at home.
Julie.
So that's a good question by Confused Duck. How many car jerk offs on the ride to Mass does Montante do? Because that's a long ride, right?
Yeah.
So
it's actually becoming really
one and a
clear now.
half.
Really becoming clear now why he didn't have sex with his partner for like 3 months.
I was going to say, isn't that a thing?
She must find him
jerking off.
My number is 1,058 times a year he jerks off average.
I can't judge.
Damn.
I can't judge.
That's not bad.
The Wade Bogs of jerking and like
Yeah, fucking Cal Ripken. He shows up every day.
Picture him holding that up on a sheet of paper.
I'd actually
should
forgotten
hold
how
that
bad-
too high.
58. Yeah.
I've actually forgotten how bad Christian was until he came back from the podcast.
It's crazy that these Beyond guys just get their stuff stolen by girls. You know?
David took an attack at a shot
wow.
at Christian too. He said he's so bad at podcasting, but he loves it.
Like, brother, when your pasta strainer's getting stolen, like you gotta fucking figure out your house. You gotta get your house in order,
Are you
How's
happy
your
to
love
see
life,
the boys?
Bobby?
I'm a happily single man.
Happily? You're on the apps?
Yeah, I'm on. I'm fucking locked out of my Hinge. I changed my phone number, and there's no way to recover. I'm texting the guy that has my old phone number. I'm like, dude, can you send me the code? He's like, I don't feel comfortable. This could be a scam. It's a 6-digit code.
These companies must be coming out after you all the time with pause.
Why don't you just start a new one?
I have Tinder. Yeah, but Hinge is like the one where the actual like.
I actually think
girls
Tim
are.
Smith bought your old phone number, and he's in your Hinge messaging other guys.
Yeah,
Does Tim Smith do like one of those identity checks for everybody that comes on his show? Because that's what it seems like. He knows everything about them.
I thought there was a Nardwar moment for a second where he said something. I thought
maybe he's like one of the MI6 or something, or MI5 or whatever the fuck. That'd be
Yeah, what was the moment, Bobby, when he made you feel uncomfortable?
So he was referencing. It turned out he was referencing the podcast, but he just said the phrase hydrogen, he said hydrogen peroxide, and he's like, "What does that mean to you?" And I thought for a second he was referencing like something I said 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was actually
that's not okay.
That's
That's, not
not
okay.
honestly.
That's scary.
Yeah. And last question, Bobby. What was it like closing the Laconia show?
Wow. I mean, I was pretty nervous. Just the lead up you know, it was so cool hanging in the green room. I'll say that. I was very thankful that I just got to hang out all day.
What's gossip from? What's the vibe like in the green room in one of those things?
Hookers.
No, nothing.
Hookers blow.
Dr. Pepper.
Montante jerking off in the corner.
Mountain Dew.
Commons brother
Julie
doing
ripping
that.
off, giving out tickets halfway through the show.
Yeah. No, but I
Julie,
was
like following Kirk into the bathroom.
No, there was a
Legos.
Kirk asked for a meatball sub, and there was about a 20-minute discussion with Julie and Mike about whether there should be provolone cheese on it or no cheese. Or
Why don't you just ask the guy? These guys act like he's like a Mussolini.
That's what Mike was. Mike was like, just he's a human, right? But no, I was shitting my pants during.
I
the
can see
show.
Julie being like, "Oh, Mike, should I
It
get
was.
cheese on it for him?" He didn't say.
Very
and he's
funny.
like, "Just fucking ask him."
And then I think she's like, "So do you want cheese?" And he's like, "Yes." And then he walks away and she's like, "What type of cheese?" No. So that was the whole thing. But I just had to watch the whole show and be nervous the entire time for my part.
Yep.
But I knew what to expect. I knew it was going to be a cappella. And as soon as he handed me the microphone, I was like, "It's my song,
Locked in.
dude."
Bobby Costa locked in.
Sing
Is
my
that a
silly
top,
little
top
song.
5 life moment?
Somebody else, I think someone in my family asked me that. I guess technically, I don't know. Yeah. Malcolm
Don't play
Butler
cool with me.
interception is probably number 1.
So which one? Sorry, what number 1?
Malcolm Butler interception for the Patriots.
It's such a sporto answer.
I mean, that's the best moment of my
Are you
life.
from? Are you from Mass?
Yeah,
Where do you live in?
New
roughly?
Hampshire, like
New
40 minutes from Boston. I live right near Canopy Lake Park.
Oh.
I was supposed to be there that day.
Damn.
Right.
Did you not show up either?
I once I knew that like Coleman was suspended for 2 weeks. I was golfing and I was going to meet them, and then I heard all that. I was like, I'm staying.
Why wouldn't you be able to be an intern? You seem like you have what it
You
takes.
basically do it.
I just need a job. Like I need money. I don't get how people.
You need
just
to,
have
so
their
you
own
need
job.
to join the military first and get them to pay for it because Kirk wouldn't.
Whenever everyone's just like, yeah, I'll take an unpaid. Like how? I don't get it. I wish I had that luxury.
So are you at university or not?
No, I dropped out of community college.
Right.
Flop university.
Your life prospects aren't looking great right now.
No, oh God, no. No, you hate to be my parents right now.
Like I think you're a very talented guy, but
They do as well. So
a lot of talented people fail.
Oh yes, it's it's my
What's
laziness.
your background? What's Costa?
What's your major, bro?
Italian.
Italian. And what is what did your dad do? What sort of work?
He's worked a lot of jobs at the same company for like 40 years.
Okay.
That
So
basically
it's stable, very stable.
Oh yeah,
and,
totally.
And your
Most
parents still
responsible
together?
guy. No, they've been divorced since like 2011, but still
Okay.
close. No issues.
Your fault?
Honestly, heart problems. I think
He had
today
smaller hands than you, and did that lead to the divorce?
It would have put a lot of stress on the relationship.
Today's the day I think I'm realizing maybe it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
All right. What
I have
else
a
you got,
video-
Johnny
I have
boy?
a video here. This has been discussed
So let's see if
multiple
you-
times
good-
on the
good
network,
video
on the main
tonight.
show here. Menners, I'd like to know what your take is.
Don't throw Clemmer a bone because.
Do you mind if I say something to that quick? I don't want to cut you off.
No, cut me off. Too late.
Sorry, this is the last time. But I will say, Brando on the show today sounded like he was much more interested in the views than the actual talking to Chris. It came off as like,
yes, I was going to say this. Brando,
You know?
I love Brando to death. He's probably the most invested in view count. I know he has the famous picture of him holding the 1,000. The show hit 1,000 views. I would say take the Kirk Minahan strategy. Just care about the show. Put out a good show. Views will come in time. If you're focused on how many views, or if you're trying to bring guests on just to get views and not to do the best content, that's not necessarily the best thing. But it will come in time.
You
Lot of
clip like Gus. You clip like Gus. Just like hours of clips. Anyway,
Menner's live in the chat said, "Bring back Quinlan."
I'll just cut it off in the middle and you'll complain.
I actually have a point to that because so it seemed like people were buying. There was views being bought even before they were kind of found out because a lot of what? Sorry,
no.
I thought there was view episodes went down in views after the fact.
Yeah, what happened was it fucked with the algorithm.
No, I thought like some episodes had a certain number of views, then they were gone after a week
He
or two.
deleted the episodes and made me reload them because he got fucking scared that it's going to hurt the algorithm. He was wrong.
Since then,
now we'll never find out who it was.
Down. Since, admittedly, I shouldn't have deleted them. I agree with that.
Definitely not.
Because then we could have actually investigated a bit more thoroughly. But I was trying to prevent what is happening, which is YouTube, when you buy views, they punish you. So that's what's happened. No one has bought views apart from Time Out Talks and Hot or Not a couple of weeks ago. And I actually think that clip makes a very good point. Brando is underrated chief suspect because
yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, why were you going to say Brando?
Well, I thought there was views being bought earlier, and then the views went down. And so I was saying I think someone was doing it to try to help out, and he's all into the views.
So they were buying views for themselves, but also scattering it around. So it looked
they were scattering them around on every show, and then when they got caught, they tried to kamikaze it and put it all on Time Out Talk. So I think Brando could be the chief suspect out of a place of goodness, but yeah, I don't know. But you're never going to find out who buys the views unless they admit it. So
yeah.
Make sure you check me out.
It's a boring topic. Anyway, but Brando tomorrow night with allegedly Jeff Lowe, although I'm pretty sure a dozen commitment will come up. Like I'm pretty sure Jeff would be messaging every team right now going, please be available tomorrow night so I do not have to do the Brando show.
No, Jeff's a good Minifan.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Jeff D. Lowe buying the views. That's a big Minifan of the year.
But it's fucked the algorithm now. Views have gone down since then.
Well, because the mass buying has stopped because we called it out.
No, there was no mass
buying. I bought the views. It was me, Brando. I bought the views.
I have it on good authority that it was Pat Gilroy.
Wow. Because of all the missed emails.
That's a good one. Like out of spite.
Just figured I'd throw that out there.
He sold a couple extra lollipops that month and he's decided to buy a few.
Greasing them with fucking lollies. Damn. I think
there also could be a thing where some people have drifted away from KMS while the show's on a break. Like there is people project their frustrations of life sometimes on KMS, and I mentioned this on Manners Live. Like I've spoken to a few people that are genuinely pissed off that Kirk's taking a break. Like BA was trying to make that argument before, but so I do think people are just like fuck this and go and listen to Part of My Take or Flop University or some other shit.
You can't hold that against people.
I actually don't mind if he takes a break. It's just
I like the breaks. It gives us time to go crazy, which actually a lot of people aren't going crazy. They did talk about that a little bit, but I think this has been one of the better breaks we had. The network's been pumping. That's clearly just because someone's buying views, but it's pumping.
Brando.
Yeah, no, it's worse. Putting up a show and then deleting it. That's actually worse for the algorithm.
It's not worse for the algorithm, John. I don't think it's not. All right. Did you see today that Brando has blocked Nurse Kim? So this is bad. I'm the CEO of the network. Nurse Kim is a huge supporter of Brando, huge supporter of the Brando show. Someone like Brando who's obsessed with views should certainly not be blocking anybody. And, I believe, if I'm being honest, I think there could be a third party that has got hold of Brando's phone. So say they've just performed a certain act and they've, Brando's sort of lying there post come state. And I reckon his other half has just slyly gone onto Twitter and blocked one Nurse Kim because Nurse Kim is always commenting about Brando's guns.
There's one person to blame for this matters. It's fucking you. It's
what?
You.
I didn't do anything.
You know why? She's probably blocked because Menners has to go on every show and say Brando's fucking Nurse Kim. That's why
No,
it matters.
I think they were just meeting up at Laconia, and coincidentally,
Was Nurse Kim in Laconia?
Yes, and coincidentally, I've heard.
Stop talking about Nurse Kim Manners. I can't talk about her.
I've heard that there's more Minifan on Minifan sex going on than we know about, which actually absolutely doesn't surprise me. So, Bobby, you don't go anywhere near Tim. Like,
I'm on the outside looking in on this whole. I didn't even know Nurse Kim was in Laconia.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're a bit young for the demographic. Like most of these men are
look at
ladies.
those hands.
Actually, I think a lot of them would love it.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
Yeah, well, you'd go an older woman, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, it's on the bucket list.
What's the oldest?
You haven't experienced yet?
Ever? Like 29, maybe.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
I'm looking. I want 50.
That's a girl who has to get her shit together. Real
I mean,
soon.
you've got it all going on, don't you? Because you've got the you got the sexy voice. You've got I had heart surgery as a kid.
Yes.
I'm living on borrowed time.
Like I with big hands and huge cock from it.
Yes,
You could be a lazy lover and have an excuse. I can't.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, you just got to ride me.
You got to ride me.
I can't
My
do it.
heart.
My doctor
my
told
I
heart.
got hurt in high school, had a pulled groin, and I tried to pull that card. It's actually not as good as it sounds. It's better to be a little more active.
Yeah. No, you got to be steering the ship.
That's what fat, lazy Menners would say, though.
You got to be stirring the ship.
Right.
As they say.
It's so gay to want a girl to ride you. I'm sorry.
That's gay matters. Holy hell. Was Tommy Quinlan here?
It's fucking woke stool.
Anyway, so Nurse Kim and Brando on the outs. I'm pleading with Brando. Jokes aside, Nurse Kim is just a fan. Brando has a lovely partner who is on Twitter. So I'm not going to say her name, but she's on Twitter. She's
and
lovely.
Bobby's single.
She's got Bobby Singh. You'd love, and that Nurse Kink would be.
Hell yeah, dude. And she's kind of
Wow.
like,
Nurse King called Brando a pussy ass bitch in the chat. Holy fuck.
what the fuck?
Yep.
Wait, will you say that in Brando's voice?
Wait. Well, how do I?
Just call me.
Nurse Kim called me a pussy ass bitch. It's not nice.
Sorry, I had to think. I was saying as Nurse. It's tough. Bobby understands this as a performer. It's tough. You got
a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts.
Bobby, you're a fucking stand-up comedian.
I think I've lost my card now at this point. I last time I did it was probably 2022.
Yeah. I'm interested in people who say they're stand-up comedians. Everyone I know has to travel almost every day to make a living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just not? What my advice to you is, Bobby, just don't stop doing your show where you just talk about nothing. All right. Stop trying to be this cool, Joe Rogan type where you just two guys yucking it up. I bought a driver on the weekend. Like, just do a show about something that is valuable. Like whether
keep doing what you're doing, Bobby. I'll come on your show if you want.
Yeah. So my advice to people always, Bobby, is always do the opposite of what BA and John are saying.
Is this
done?
Is this any type of advice, or
I would say do what you think is funny. Do what you think is funny.
Marty fits in with us. Just everyone talking.
What were you saying, Bobby? Sorry.
Is this just any type of advice, or is this a specific amount of advice that you're giving me?
Question.
What do you mean?
Like a nickel's worth?
Keep up. That was a nickel. That was a nickel bomb. A nickel drop.
This is why he does stand up.
Come on,
stand up, people.
Do you guys know the name of Japanese race wine?
Free advice, Bobby. I want to listen to a show that you do, but I want it to be worth my time.
Yeah, that one won't be. Maybe my next one.
At least you're admitting it.
I have a question
on
for
the
Bobby.
street is you listen to one episode, you go back and listen to every single one. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing on the street. It's addictive.
If you're in the
used
demo,
that line twice this show, John. So
you got to be in the demo.
Bobby, I have a question for you. Have you ever
shut up.
had
There's one question? Just one question for Bobby.
Oh my
Would
God.
you then consider bringing Flop University to the Minifan network?
With your hatred of it, which is fine, I understand.
What about my mentorship? Why are you being such a pussy about this? I'm not.
I think there's a lot of.
I'm giving you.
I think
advice.
there's a shared sentiment. I think there's a shared sentiment between the Minifans and you in that show really isn't for all of them. Maybe a handful of them, but
Okay, most of
otherwise,
the
I'm
shows on this network aren't.
I'm just going to
But-
give you a couple guys who keep that type of philosophy. Facts.
Robbie V, Timeout Talks.
No,
PRC
Timeout Talks will be
Chomps,
taking a small break until Josh is done with
Kane's
school.
Corner, the Brando Show. But the thing is, Bobby, I think you should bring it to the network because it was really sad in the episode I listened to. You were going, oh, we had 25 listeners, and then Kirk retweeted us, and then we had 60 listeners.
That's transparency.
Yeah, you would get it. I can guarantee you
20% gain.
You would get at least 60 views on the YouTube, even if it was just Tim watching
over and over
60 times as he jerked off.
That quote of me was me ignoring my YouTube. I was just talking about the downloads because I feel like YouTube is like skewed. We got like 300 views, but I don't know. Is that real?
Don't worry about views. Dude.
Anyway,
Don't
I think
worry
you
about
should submit the tape to
do
us.
your
We'll start
podcasting all
airing
the time
Flop
and just-
University.
We need full creative control.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to do it. I just said submit the video and we'll release it.
You
Can
have
I still
access
put it
to
on
me
my
and make you an intro video.
Yeah,
I have
you can
nothing on
still-
my plate right now, honestly.
Sure.
You can
know,
still
I have
put it
no
on
intros
your.
I need to make.
You can still put it on your YouTube. Just send it to us as well.
Then absolutely. But what if we say something horrible?
That's all right, dude.
What
We
would you say
me
the
and BA
topic
had this
is?
conversation earlier. We broke Menners on all that. He used to hold us against every word we would say on here, and we had to break him like a fucking horse.
Okay,
We
so
like
this
to-
is
we like to
rewriting
tiptoe
history.
the
So
line.
I'll tell you actually what happened, Bobby, because John likes to lie. What happened was Kirk stole the Minifan channel, put all the shows on his main channel,
Oh, I remember
and
that.
when the shows were on the main channel, people would say things like the F slur and even other words that were even worse. And Kirk did not give a shit. Didn't give a shit, and that was on his main channel. So I realized Kirk actually doesn't care as long as you're not dropping, really.
What about all
insane
those
stuff.
times you said that hurts the algorithm?
People did drop the hard R too.
The big one.
So you'd be welcome. Kirk doesn't care. It's fine.
So let's say everyone say the F slur.
Can Bobby go on
What,
one
three,
episode on this
two?
network where people aren't just constantly hitting on him. This is fucking crazy. Hey.
All right. What
Menners,
else?
what's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
Oh, good question.
I don't know.
I've never had a chickpea on my face.
I have.
Isn't that
All right. What else do you got
Isn't that
for us?
backwards?
Yeah, I know you got lots of clips and shit, John. So
I've never had a gub.
And but yeah, that just got keep staying on that point.
I did fuck up.
Leave those guys alone. It's not
fucked
even a
up.
funny
That was
bit.
completely wrong, right?
Wait, Menners, will you call BA fat? Because this
yeah,
one
yeah.
hits. This one hits.
I thought you were gonna call me fat.
Right. What else you got?
Man.
What else?
My mom had cancer.
Do you make anything out of the unrelated or the unnamed show is just slowly disintegrating?
That show's a tune out when it's with Rico Bosco. Whitney's kind of the driving force of that show, I think, because Whitney's a really naturally funny guy. Well, but when Kirk and Portnoy are teaming up on Rico, it's kind of cringy. I have to say, like I didn't like that dynamic, and I'm a big unnamed show guy, but yeah, I thought without Whitney, you might as well not do it. I think.
Too many egos at play there.
I was gonna say this show has been going on for almost 2 years now, and it's like none of them ever really single out anybody on that show, and that just goes to prove how big each of their egos are. You know,
Yeah.
there is a lot of ego on that show. I think Ryan Whitney is the perfect balance though, because he's just like a ball, but he doesn't let anybody get away with it, or you get ball busted. You know.
What do you think, Bobby? You're a Barstool guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Dave on a podcast, I feel like the rundown, just after doing the rundown for however many years, I feel like just fried his brain where he doesn't know how to do like podcast. Everything's just like rundown style now.
Did you listen to Barstool Radio?
I used to, yeah, in
He was
high
great on
school.
Barstool Radio when he
I
hosted.
loved it.
He needs to
Loved it.
host. That's the problem. He's not
I
a
used to
guest.
listen like while like in high school, fucking trying to hide it in my.
I did the same thing while I was like, I got a job that I got to work outside just so I could listen to more Barstool Radio. I feel like.
And so now I think the unnamed show just kind of does have like a rundown style
Mm.
where it's like as soon as everyone's done, and then it's just like, all right, next, and it's not really. I don't know. I'll listen no matter what. I mean, I'm a sucker. So
I just think now Dave's got so famous and he's got such a huge ego that if it's not about Dave, he doesn't care, and he just
That's
sort of
always been
turns
that
up. What?
He's always been that way since that's why I think he's a better host, because it's like,
Well, yeah, maybe I don't know Dave as well as I know Kirk, but
Probably
you know,
don't.
Kirk is not going to turn up and be the Eddie, which I think they need. They need someone on that show to be the Eddie, to feed topics in, to stir things up.
they need a producer.
Yes, they probably need like a host,
Yeah.
because Kirk doesn't want to host it. He was like, "All right, it's your show, let's go." The other day,
Can you imagine being a producer that thinks they have the balls to be the producer for that show, though? And like, that's a death warrant, dude. You're done.
I think it's been all right. I think it's been all right. But Whitney's the fun, like the comedy of the show. Like when he's chirping Portnoy's the best. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even
like
back
when Portnoy's like, I'm going on Shane and Sharp's podcast, and Whitney's like, well, hopefully you do a better job than you did on Rogan. Like that cracked me up, you know. So it's like that when they're all making fun of each other, it's good. But like if if Rico's on there, like, or something, I don't know. I think you just have to those three just are funny talking about anything for me personally.
I imagine it's a pretty big money maker. I mean, you've got some pretty big personalities on there. They must do. You don't think
definitely.
so?
No, definitely. They get like 100K. They definitely make money. That's why they're doing it still.
No, I don't think so. There's been no specials with it. There's no brands coming to them and saying, "Let's do this."
They have like three
They have
ads.
It's not
right
a
at the top.
brand coming to you and saying, "Let's do a golf tournament," or Milton saying, "Come
Yeah,
on."
they don't have like the
They don't
fawns
have-
coming
yeah.
to the Kirk Minahan network.
You need a loyal.
Yeah,
hoodie.
I get it. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think though, if you attach Portnoy to anything, it advertisers are jumping on.
I agree, but I don't. Like I said, I don't like him as a second.
What else do you listen to at Barstool, Bobby?
Anus, Son of a Boy Dad, and of course the Yak. I'm sorry.
He is a Yak.
You don't have to apologize.
Well, you know,
Apology accepted, Bobby.
I listen to it, even though it's extremely visual.
Have you think the Yak has gone downhill since Sass and Roan have been off it?
Yeah, because I like it as a podcast, and I drive all day, so all the visual stuff, it's lost on me. I just kind of don't really pay attention whenever it's, you know.
Nurse Kim's
basketball.
being nasty in the chat. She said, "Is BA 32 or 50?" That's nasty.
Hey, if Nurse Kim works at
That's
a
fucking
hospital,
nasty.
you could go deliver something.
I stand with Brando.
Give her the old 13-inch.
I think
pointer
this
finger.
panel needs a Milton's run. I think I look okay.
Listen, talk to you, Menners.
I've been working out.
Saying you, Menners.
This is a bad angle, though.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
on Twitter,
maybe-
Nurse Kim, just for the record.
There you go. I love that
Fuck
Nurse
you,
Kim.
Nurse Kim.
Slowly dove into the Minifan world. I think she had a good rise.
Yeah, when I first saw her in the chat, I figured it was somebody pretending.
It's probably a dude. It's probably
Yeah.
the dude that's messaging Kane.
The same guy that was Stu Finer.
That was going to be all my clips tonight. Were just going to be the DMs that Kane and MA Betts girl had. It was just going to be that, but I didn't do it.
I had a funny story on Sunday night, and my son came over for dinner. He's 16, and he's standing up at this point, and he looks at me and he goes, "She's riding that stick or something."
Oh.
Excuse me, and he's looking out the window. And I go, "Excuse me." He says, "Look across." And I look across from my apartment, and in the apartment directly across, this young girl on her boyfriend just absolutely fucking
best.
Oh my
riding
You gotta go to
with
Miami.
the blinds open. The blinds open, right? We're on the ground floor too. This is wild, some wild stuff. So, you know, my son's like, "Oh yeah, she's really riding that stick," or whatever she was saying. I'm like, "Here we go. He's been on Pornhub or whatever, you know, the kids are getting on." And she saw my son looking. So she like runs over to the window naked and like closed the blind. But it was quite the
That's
stir.
awesome. He's gonna remember that for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
What a moment.
So will I, Bobby.
Yeah, true. You should. I didn't know you had a 16.
Manners was saying, "Okay, son, go to bed," and he's coming over and with his nipple pierced, just trying to
looking in the
come
window, like rubbing my nipple.
Manners, you should see if your son would like Flop University.
It's true. Maybe
he's
I'll
in the
try with
demo.
him.
That's the demo.
He is in the demo. What do you got, John? I got to catch up with Andy Nolan later for lunch, so let's punch through the rest of these topics.
And but yeah, that just gonna stay on that point.
Just the worst producer. Yeah, the worst. It's not funny. No one finds that funny.
I was waiting all
Put in
day.
the chat, please. I'm going to turn on the chat.
Yeah, like I give a
Put
fuck.
in the chat how bad this John is doing tonight. Anyway, what do you got for us, John?
We're doing a producer search. You're more than welcome to cut 35 clips for Menners to torment and trash.
Okay, well, you got a lot more clips to play. So, what are some highlights? What do you got?
L in the chat from Don
This one is
and Roscoe.
a little long, not that long.
Necessarily agree with this that it's like a slap in the face of the Minifans. I think Kirk gives more content out there than anyone else. I was thinking today about how we're on the 5-year anniversary of COVID, and the show didn't miss a week during COVID.
Yeah.
Everything else shut down. They were doing shitty Zoom shows for 20 minutes instead of the
I think it's really brave. Kirk did a podcast at the time in the world when most people started doing podcasts. That's what Justin just said. Everyone did a podcast during COVID.
Pretty sure he took a break.
No, he didn't.
They actually went into the studio, though.
Yeah, they went into the studio.
Well, that's very brave.
That's not brave. That's not brave. We know what it was.
Well, Bobby would have. I bet you wish you were a KMS fan.
Don't try and get Bobby's side.
Roscoe keeps wanting me to bring up my salad. First off, Roscoe has the culinary palate of a homeless man. That fucking Wright's Farm trash. Pasta shell bolognese, wet fries, medium rare chicken. Fucking Roscoe. Rhode Island the flag should be half mast for that fucking shitty ass place.
I saw Portnoy post this for his birthday.
And my salad was delicious.
A big cut of prime rib. Is prime rib a little boy's cut of meat?
Whenever I see it pictured, it never looks appetizing.
Yeah, I feel like it's the cut of meat that like families give their little boy. Like, here, feel important. I don't know.
Yeah, they cut it up in
That's a
little
great
chunks
point
for
from
him.
John. What do you got, John?
Why the clips all look?
I have a
different?
bunch
There's
of.
some clips
I have
that
a
are
bunch
one
of.
way
'Cause I'm
from-
moving
What was
them.
that? Sorry, what did you say, BA?
Well, the clips are all they all look a little different. Like one clip had a World War II ad in it. Are we sponsored by
Those
the
are
World
ones
War
I just didn't crop because I
Oh.
don't like to cut clips and then have to edit them. That's double the amount of time I have to fucking work from.
John's doing a good job tonight. He's trying.
We didn't talk anything really much about Mick. He had his first podcast back with Christian. We talked a little bit about Christian, but
because
Mick's
that's the clip
going
you
off.
played, that terrible clip. But anyway, that was your producing.
Thank you,
Go on.
Jizz Wizard. I am looking
Mick went
sharp.
off on the whole Kirk stuff. It was a little late though for Mick to do it. Do you agree? I'm a Mick guy though. Manners isn't listening.
No, I went through it on Manners Live, so I was giving Bobby
Manners,
and
you told me to cut Manners live.
I'm not
didn't want
upset.
to.
I'm not upset.
fucking
I'm
hitting
just
the
giving
fucking
chance to
outro. I
talk.
hate you
I'm
so
going to weigh in on it, but
I
I
can't
would
wait to
like to
finally
make
come and hang himself
Bobby,
with a balloon
Bobby,
string because
Bobby,
of the
Bobby,
stress.
Bobby. What do you think about Mick?
I love Mick. He's a great guy. He's hilarious. He was making me cry laughing in Laconia at the house. But
did you get a free ticket for singing the song?
Ooh, good question. Those big hands.
I did, yes, because
Yes, good on you,
And
Bobby.
Mick-
Stand up
Mick-
for yourself.
Mick was there when I got everyone.
Are you the reason Mick is so salty? Because he's like,
So-
this guy, Bobby Costa's getting tickets. All he did was sing a little
That's
jig.
not called salt.
And
That's
then
called
Mick was
pride.
on there. He
Girls throwing
hosted.
G-strings up on
That's
the
pride.
stage.
He stood in the face of fucking evil.
You had Tim
Injustice.
Smith throwing his sweaty boxers at you. You
No,
know?
he has Kane on the opposite side running at him, looking like fucking Bagel Boss.
I'm very broke. I don't have much money to my name. So if I needed to, I was going to buy one like the day of. But then I got the text, the month before that I would be doing the song. So then as soon as they said that, I said, can I get a ticket? I don't like.
Yeah.
So, and then.
See, you weren't too shy to ask.
Absolutely. No, I fucking.
You're
if
not-
I could
yeah,
save
yeah.
$50, I'm saving $50.
Yeah.
I'm a Mick guy. Mick should
Kane, that moron, brought up the fact, like, what, were they not going to buy a ticket? Like, Kane, stop fucking virtue shaming
I was
people
holding
because
out.
they want to be paid for their labor. You're a fucking chef. Show me a chef that's worked 10 minutes for free. 10 fucking minutes for
point.
free. You can't show me fucking one. So like, it's
And
crazy.
McCain wants us to take the money out of frontline workers' pockets. Too.
For me,
Yeah.
it's not like
and
I'm working though. Like I'm happy to sing. I'll sing for free. I don't care about that. But I just
Well, no,
if I save $50, then
that's where he tries to virtue. Like, I have done work for a show. I never once said, "Where's my ticket?" Do I think a show that's on Barstool like KMS, who like they treat their fans better than anyone, should have thought, like the producers thought ahead, hey, let's have tickets for everybody that makes a video. It's free. It costs us nothing.
And it isn't hard. It isn't hard to be a chef. I made a fusion avocado gazpacho salad, so that was great. And also, Jizz Wizard is being nasty in the chat, saying no one is surprised you're broke, Bob. That's nasty, Jizz Wizard.
well, you know, that's fine. I have poor habits.
He's allowed to be broke at 20.
I know. Jizz Wizard.
What annoys me?
You should actually have money.
What annoys me is the victim mentality. And well, you were dealing coke at 23, so you had plenty of cash. But what you've told the story publicly about getting busted for it. So it's not me making it up.
I didn't get no. I never told that. Go listen to the actual pod. See, you don't even listen to shit, and you just sit there and bark orders.
Maybe it's someone else I'm thinking of. Oh, that's right. The Pablo Escobar book I was reading. Anyway, what I don't like is the victim mentality.
Great joke, Menders.
Like what I don't like is the victim mentality. Like if you're Mick,
that's Mick's bad.
If you're going to go and you're going to buy a ticket, just be happy to be there. Sure. But if you want a ticket, you do what Bobby does and go, "Hey, I'm coming up to do stuff for the show. I'd love a ticket if possible."
That was a bigger slap in his face than his brother leaving him $200. Bigger slap.
Bobby expected a ticket and he got one. Bobby's a star. He expected one.
Dude, I almost dropped out on Brother Al with the $200 story. I was almost out on Al.
The ticket was nice. The limousine was a little too much, I thought. For me.
That's what that's what we've been trying to get.
Limo. And what was this? What's the suite like at the Sheraton up there?
I bought my own hotel room, and
it probably was a Sheraton.
I loved it. But Portland, I was supposed to do the song that you love, Menners, and
it was my job to find you.
Right, it got all tangled up. But that year, I didn't get a ticket, and I wasn't comfortable enough to ask for one. So I
could tell a funny story about this. Julie came to me looking for Bobby Costas, and I spent like 20 minutes at the end of the show looking for the wrong person. And then I saw Bobby after it, and he was like, "I missed the song at the end." And I was like, "I saw you like 9 times when I was looking for the wrong person."
Classic Julie.
So what happened with that, Bobby? Because I heard like it wasn't written down and there was a bit of a miscommunication. And
I thought you got wet feet or cold feet. Wet feet.
Absolutely 100% not what happened, John.
Oh.
I mean, I was fuming after, and I've since cooled down. But
then you had to go to that terrible bar.
Can you let him tell the story, John?
I must have asked Coleman 7 billion questions. Should I be at rehearsal? Should I do this? Should I come? Where am I sitting? Am I getting a ticket? Am I buying my own ticket? Are you going to call me? Are you going to call me with the microphone? Are you going to call me with my everything? I'm like, can I just be at the rehearsal? And just like, fine, we'll call you up at the end. Be good. And then so I'm just sitting there at the end and expecting them to call me up like Bobby Costa, but they were trying to call my phone. And I guess Coleman gave Justin my number, but I didn't have Justin's number. So some number was calling me. I don't even think I had service.
Yeah.
The show ends. I walk out and I'm like, oh, 20 missed calls. So I was
amateur hour, and it sounds like you are heartbroken.
I was so ready to go, dude. I rehearsed. I was gonna play the guitar too.
So it sounds like Top Laconia was a top 5 life moment.
I'm thinking it was number 1.
It was a little redemption for your boy, but you know,
heard it was great.
Was
it as good as Danny's song Friday Night?
It was not. No, that was insane.
Apparently, Danny has performed that about 45 times. Robbie V confirmed.
Yeah, any other gossip from up there, Bobby? When you were in Laconia, did you get to the Montante mansion?
I did. I certainly did. I'm trying to think that it hasn't been covered.
You said there was some weird, like people were disappearing into other rooms and then coming back with a real pep in their step.
I didn't say the pep, but
let's just say they don't have heart problems, buddy.
Right. Well, that's why I was like, I guess I'm on the outside of that where I belong. So I think John and Warren told a story about Montante asking if some girl was like, he's like, "Are you Chinese?"
This is great.
And
So
I was right there for that. The way he described, I was like, that is exactly what happened.
Montante started that by saying, "Are we in the trust tree?"
Yes. Other than that, freaking Daver trying to show me and Coleman songs that we've already heard as if we didn't. He's like, dude, you don't even know about this one. Hold on, we would play this one, and then it would just be like Avicii or something. But he would go,
It'd be Swedish House Mafia.
Like David was heading into that room if he's doing that shit with you.
How many buttons were unbuttoned on Daver?
It was a couple.
And the smell of Daver is, like a sweaty old Portuguese
It would
guy
smell like a
mixed with
30-hour flight.
cheap aftershave. It's pretty.
He was very disappointed I wasn't Portuguese.
Yep.
That's
What did you think? What did you think of the Minna ladies? Did you meet many? I imagine they were all like running up to you.
No,
And what do you think
I
about
didn't
Hamas?
Mama Kay, whom I've met before.
Yep.
No, not too much.
Mama Kay's daughter. Did you meet her?
No.
Right.
Are you
I
shocked
wish.
every
Well-
time when you see Minifans, significant others, and how attractive of a bunch we actually are when we congregate?
Yeah. It is a little surprising.
It's just a lie. It's like there's like three.
Yeah, there's one at the
there's
time.
three. There's
Obviously,
three.
yeah,
There's like
sure,
three
sure.
attractive women there, and he's like, "Oh, we're not that bad."
That's fucking false.
There's like three attractive women and like 150.
Oh
fat
yeah,
tall
I
guys.
loved all the smoke shows.
What a
there.
beautiful room! A bunch of models. Literally,
I
Bobby
mean-
Costa, like the most good-looking guy, and it's a 6.
I mean, there's like 5 women there,
I know, right? But they were top 5.
and one was willing to shave her head.
I wish we'd done that. That would have been cool.
In
Have
the
you ever been
moment, I
there
was
for
like,
that?
please don't. I can't. I didn't want it.
I saw a girl shave her head once, and it was traumatic for that girl. It was horrifying.
Because she was being held down by you and your
No,
friends.
dude, what?
Ah.
I don't like you.
Oh,
Not a fucking ruffian.
what else you got for us, John?
You know I'm gonna hit that clip. I'm not. You want to hear Justin's take on Mick or no?
Sure.
We're just hitting old clips.
No, let's go.
I think I have to go pee, fellas. I'm sorry.
That's all right, buddy. Bring your fork with you, though.
I'm about to pee my pants.
I mean, did you hear Mick's show this week, Beyond Average podcast, guys?
I did.
I mean,
I did.
What did you think?
I thought the points he made about Kirk were pretty unfair. I think even if you go back to what Mick said a couple of Beyond Average podcasts ago when he first came back, one of the things he said in his first time when he came back after he took his extended break in August and September was like Kirk is always taking care of him. When they went to Dakota, like don't ever.
I just wanted to play that because I thumbs down every comment.
is Bobby taking a shit in the studio, Menners?
Dude,
Yeah,
remember
that's
when
how
Willie
bad.
G would go take fucking Axe body showers with candles?
Yeah. Speaking of stinky guys,
Real
Yeah,
stinky.
Justin has no time for Mick, and I'm with Justin. If I was him, I'd have no time for Mick either.
Fuck you.
I'm a
dude. You
maniac.
stand for nothing. I do love Justin.
I like Mick, but if I'm Justin, the way he turned on him,
You
I'd be
can't
like,
sit there and say someone's arm waving matters. You have to look inward. That's bullshit.
I've never arm waved.
you ran. You faked ran for
Yeah, you
45
faked
And
minutes.
maybe I did arm wave at some
You
point.
texted me why did you buy the views before anyone even knew, you creep.
That's not really arm waving. That's in private arm
Yeah,
waving.
that's the
No,
opposite.
it,
of arm
it's
waving.
Yeah, exactly. Private arm waving. That's what I don't like.
I
your
don't know
fucking
if that's
face.
the definition of arm waving, but
It's probably
anyway,
not good with definitions.
got another clip for us. You got you got a good clip for us.
Thank you.
And I feel a little exploited. Maybe that's my own issue, but I guess that's just, as deep as I want to go into like the problems I have with, because for the most part in Laconia, it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic weekend.
Is this?
The exploited word is crazy. Like, and especially John, you've done, I would estimate, somewhere between 50 and 1,000 times more work for KMS related content than Mick, and you've never claimed once to be exploited.
He's good at it, and I'm bad. There's a difference.
John actually pays like hundreds of dollars a month.
To argue.
$132.
Hard to argue with that last sentiment.
It's true. Like I could self-reflect, Menners. You can't.
What are you
I
talking
can't
about?
say
I'm
it.
the
You can't
expert
say-
in self
You can't sit there and look at the American audience in the eyes. I don't care about any other country. I just want that on the record, other than Canada, because they're our brothers. And say you don't arm wave.
Anyway, I make content. That's not.
And but yeah, that just gonna stay on that point.
Just keep with your silly bit. Keep
Stay on that point.
silly bit.
Did you not know Australians said 13 like that?
13.
I
love it. I love it.
13.
About this last
Yeah, but
Bobby, did you shit in the studio?
Ooh, good
Yeah,
call.
shit in the studio.
It was a lengthy piss though. That was
You like
about
that,
an
Manners? That was
hour
good.
45. Wait,
Where did you buy that big fork? I'm really interested in
Oh,
it.
wow. Look at that. fork.
got it. Working at Staples, it was part of like an
You
end
never
cap,
think that.
and I was like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
Question, Bobby. I am, back in the market, back on the dating game. As a younger guy who's, out there, do you have any advice for someone like me when they meet a woman?
In person? Oh shit.
Yeah, in person. What's your? Do you have any moves that I can steal?
I always just make fun of myself.
Yep.
Well, you can't do that, buddy.
Do you have a badass
Cross that
scar
one
as
off.
well that you can show off?
Dude, I'm starting to get chest hair now, so it's starting to go away.
You can shave that.
I guess I could.
23-year-old boy getting his chest hair.
Self-deprecating is
Nice.
good. So I've got obviously a lot of material for that.
That's how I go. I'll always laugh. I'm never trying to be cool. I'm just trying to be funny.
Laugh, be
Listen, if
funny.
there's one thing to fix there, it's try to be cool. Being cool is fucking awesome.
But if they ever get the sense, even the slightest inclination that you're trying to be cool,
never let them get a sense.
It's over.
Don't ever let them get a sense until you love them and they can accept it in their
Yes.
heart. When they're like, you fucking shit weird. Like it's fucking.
Well, where were you on, Bobby? There was some controversy around me, shaving my pubic hair and balls. I did it in the shower. You do you trim the?
I do,
edges?
and I'm like trying. I have like looked up like what is it the shower, the trash can, the toilet? There's no perfect way. So I'm still searching for that.
I think shower's the best, unless you got a real forest down there. You find in the shower.
Oh, you gotta have a 5 o'clock shadow down there. Look like a fucking businessman.
Yeah,
you don't want it to be bald like a
No,
prepubescent-
that's the weirdest.
Yeah, but you also don't want the girl like coming up with like tons of fucking
Yeah, but some of them like
hair
that.
in
If
her
you're
mouth.
country bumpkin, like they like that.
I'll rock that. I'll rock the Howie Mandel every now and then.
I'm all in the boat of I think all humans should go bush in the winter.
Really?
Yeah.
I met this woman recently who didn't manicure down there
Roll up your
as much
sleeve.
as some other women, and it was quite strange. It was like, oh, it's like being in the 70s again. Well,
You would think a guy like you who has no hair wouldn't mind diving into a little bush.
Calamari actually asked, how many weird questions do we think Menners has asked Bobby tonight? I think like 8.
It's crazy.
I
I think we need to strike Bobby's age.
Is Menners Tim Smith? Is Menners Tim Smith?
Are you gonna get your nipples
Tim
pierced like
Smith
K-pop?
definitely has corrupted me. Listening to the Unrelated show. it's rubbed
Don't
off
let
on
these
me.
fucking English guys corrupt you, Manners.
Yeah, you certainly don't want Tim rubbing off on me.
The discussion about my nipples on Twitter, I will say, has gotten out of hand.
Oh, really?
I didn't bring up your nipple yet.
No, someone I don't know who in Laconia. We were talking, and then out of nowhere he like points at me, goes, "You must have tiny nipples."
I have tiny nipples.
I do too. And so I'm like, dude, yes. How the fuck did you know that? He's like, I could tell by looking at. I know. And so I told that on my podcast, and then everyone's like, "Who was it? Who was? I don't know."
Was it nipples? Do you know nipples?
You have Paisano brown. Are you have Paisano nipples or no?
No.
All right, there's my one weird question.
Freaking bubblegum pink.
Would you get a nipple
that's what you
piercing,
want,
Bobby?
baby.
I don't have enough material to work with. I don't think it could. I
We'll give you
really
some,
don't.
dude. I could bring Tommy in here and Bree. We could ask some real weird questions if you want.
Nipples look like an oversized clit. It's insane. Nipples. It's like
I want to
they're like this-
announce
they're
that
like this thick.
Tim Smith invited me and Tommy Quinlan on the next Unrelated show. I'd just like to respond to Tim Smith and say, have some goddamn respect for yourself, Tim Smith.
So you're not
gonna
going
say
on?
No, I will, because I really originally didn't like him because he didn't invite me on, but he invited me and Quinlan on and not Bree. I feel like I have to stand up for her.
Yeah, Brie is very forgettable. The thing is, so speaking of dates, Bobby, I asked you. So I met a first date. We matched on Hinge. I haven't been locked out of my profile, and she was she's African. She's the first. I've
Ooh.
never been with an African woman.
You want to match with me?
And so we met on Sunday, and I've got to say she was a smoke show. Like so it's not gonna. I'm probably never gonna get in the pants because she's way out of my league. But I have never, dabbled in that. I've never tried that.
You ever watch American Gods?
No.
Oh, there's an African queen that just takes guys and she starts fucking them, and then she inserts them into her pussy, and that's how she gets her god powers. What if that's the kind of chick you got, Menners, and that's how you went out?
Fine.
In the box.
Good way to go. I'll take
It
it.
is. I agree.
A great way to go.
I was just checking.
So hopefully
And
I
you
can
do not masturbate 3 times a day, correct?
Yeah. No.
Got it.
I mean, I've been to a few countries in Asia and stuff over the last year, but maybe heading to Africa would be a exciting change. Have you ever done that, Bobby?
Well, I've never been to Africa. I've never left the country.
You know what I meant.
But yes, I've dipped my toe in the pool of dark chocolates.
Oh,
great. John, I'm sure you have.
What, gone to Africa? Oh, yeah, of course, dude. I learned what getting your credit card ran on is from
she was from Nigeria.
Yeah, she hit the max button. She was like, I don't know, what's the most? Yeah, I'm still paying it down.
Wow.
This just
All right,
reminded
so-
me. I don't know. Did you hear on the producer show? I think it was the last one where Justin was talking about the new guy that's playing Severus Snape, and he was trying to he was trying to say
black.
he's an African American, but he's British. He's
Yeah.
a British he just couldn't say the word black for his life.
Oh,
he's
I was like, what are you
British.
talking about?
He's an African American who's from England.
Isn't the Snape albino though? Isn't he like a really white
He's
guy in
supposed
the
to be,
Harry
but,
Potter?
It was Alan Rickman, right?
It's up to interpretation. It's art.
Oh, so now he's going to be a brother.
Now he's a brother.
Oh, very nice.
Dude,
John,
I've
you
seen-
went to so much work with all these clips. What else you got for us? This is the longest.
Oh, I want to
MNS
talk about this real quick. I have a guy who keeps
Leave it up
messaging
money
me
later.
about how fat Blind Mike is, and I'm kind of concerned too.
Yes, I've been getting these messages as well. Yeah.
It's strange, right?
Blind Mike's never looked better.
It is strange.
How many? I think he's down 20 mentally.
Down 20. I heard he's hitting the gym eating salads.
And
But the
I'm
thing
just
is,
gonna
if you're
get rid of
blind, Mike, you can't just go for a run.
That's
like
true.
You're not, and
It's hard to walk.
Make these
Ozempic?
jokes. What was that?
Like you have to use Ozempic in a treadmill.
I don't know. I heard Julie was just like giving it out in the dressing room at the Cone.
I heard.
She was
the
giving
big
out.
guy-
She gave out half price tickets and Ozempic to everyone they asked.
Yeah, and
I heard
head
it's working
jobs.
now.
I heard she was giving people Ozempic in the Montante Mansion, just needles in the ass all fucking night, just needles in the ass. Yeah, Ozempic in the ass.
Kinda
Fuck,
hot.
Julie.
Kind of hot. Manners, will you, for once and for all, clear that out?
Oh fuck, man, is that you?
I don't smoke. I do.
That's what I was going to bust you for. I was like, you do smoke. So you do smoke.
Yeah, it could be me, except I haven't smoked cigarettes for 15 years.
Got it. Network rankings.
Oh, yep.
No clown emojis.
MNS number 1,
Who
Men
does
is Live
this?
number 2, Brando, the Clemmer non-bump. Snell, good return for him. Kane with a couple of shows, and then PR Chomps with Bio Dude.
I got Jeff D. Lowe coming on tomorrow. Everyone check it out, except for you, Nurse Kim. You're not allowed to watch it, okay?
I wonder if Jeff's going to wear that thing on the show tomorrow night so he sounds like Brando.
What is wrist guard?
No, the nose thing.
Well, that opens your nose.
All right. Maybe you should
I
send
didn't-
one to Brando.
So when I was a big cokehead, I spent a year trying to learn how to handle and deal with the nasal like tubes, and I would make like tiny roll up things that I would call like I would just dig it up there and just clear a path, and like I would sleep with like nose plugs, and I did experiments, and let me just tell you, it's much better to just not.
Oh, I actually have breaking
This
news.
has, that story hasn't done wonders for your reputation, I've got to say, John.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry, Ben, go with your bit.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Reading the
no,
chat.
this isn't a bit.
I think I'm a bit.
Jeff D. Lowe has left the gambling chat.
Interesting.
You think because of tonight?
Who's to say?
Big
But it's a sad
news.
day. And he
Why
said he
would it
may
be
never be
tonight?
back.
Did
Why would
Brando
it be
block him?
tonight? We didn't say anything about Jeff tonight.
No, he left the chat and a sad day. Sad day for the gambling
Yeah,
chat.
especially the year we didn't have the GV tournament named after his dad. We took a whole year off for this guy.
I thought it was really funny when today Kirk was telling the story about he was going to do fantasy baseball, and then he looked at all the Minifans involved and was just like, "No fucking way."
And I heard,
Why don't you
actually,
watch Runners Live. That's I feel the same feeling.
I heard Roscoe's rating for the draft was an F. So Roscoe's had a
Really?
bad week. Yeah, an F rating.
Roscoe is looking into Bree, starting to creep everybody out.
What is this?
He said Roscoe was asking about Bree. He was shooting a shot last night. He was in Spaces by himself. Did you say for an hour?
Roscoe's in space for an hour, muted, not talking to anyone. A sad day. Roscoe's addicted. He's like Kane, where he started posting food pictures so everyone would hate him. So he has like that Kane kink to be hated, but with food. It's very sad stuff. Now he's doing Spaces.
Spaces is dangerous if you're a boozer because it gets late and you just hit live and you're hammered and you're saying all sorts of shit. Was it Saturday? One night recently, Robbie fell asleep. Robbie V in the Spaces ran all night, and it was literally Robbie V and Don in there for like 10 hours because I think Don's going through some stuff or he's in hospital, whatever. But I know if I know Don, he would have stayed in that Spaces just for Robbie to do something like forget his, microphones on and like take a piss or start talking to
Don's
his.
not that kind of guy.
No, I'm a Don guy. Even though Don's been nasty recently, but Don's a man of honor.
Yeah, Don would sit there until
He's
Robbie
been
fell
nasty.
asleep, and he would tuck him in like a fucking gentleman.
What else you got for us, Johnny boy?
I agree, Menners, though. Only time I've ever joined Spaces has been on a Thursday after I get back from the bar after I do trivia. And I'm like, oh, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
That's
Oh,
that's when me and BA met like that.
Don't
I bet those Flop University Spaces go off.
It's a bad idea.
Also, do not take
Right.
don't take melatonin and go into the Spaces because Big Dick O'Malley is just he's overdosing on melatonin in those Spaces and guys slurring his words, falling asleep.
Or
Thanks for another
MMMM
bit.
defending the Jewish tribes. That's been a lot lately too.
What else you got
What?
for us,
I
my
got
Hamas loving friend?
Rest in
You have
peace.
to be if you're like married or living
Yeah,
with someone at some
for
point.
sure.
Because like they don't want to walk in and see you
For
beating
sure.
your dick, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see it. Actually, if it's the vice versa, you probably would. Want
Honestly,
to see
it had been so long since I sat down to beat off.
Mm.
Like I'd always because
You were going to the bathroom to do it.
no, I'd always lay down on my bed if I was gonna do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you now.
And I don't know why, but I was in my office and I didn't even using the computer. I also haven't used a computer to jerk off and
She jerked.
I guess why play that when we're talking about beating off earlier in the show? But anyway,
That is a great point, man.
Manners, when I played that clip, you body bagged it. I wonder why it didn't hit the next one. You cunt. It was 49 seconds long. You would have bitched about that too.
What else you got?
Because God forbid one of us in the goddamn miniverse can make a fucking point in less than 30 seconds.
I'm glad Christian is masturbating again.
Yeah,
And so Christian's back on the back masturbating. Yeah, that's great.
How long has it been since I just sat down to beat off?
Well, upright masturbating as compared to horizontal masturbating, it's a whole.
For Montante, it's about 25 minutes, I think.
Yeah, so Montante ratio is clearly something like he has sex What did we say? I reckon he's having sex once a month. He said like it was like a 3-month gap.
Did you ever every year where you put up a number like
so
that?
Montante's jerking off each quarter of the day.
Yes, he's jerking off
Dude,
88.2 times a month. Yeah. And he's having sex once a month. So that's a 1 in 88 ratio of sex to jerking off.
We need to have Montante on Hot or Not. I wish he didn't hate gay people, but
Like
we gotta figure that
John,
out.
I know you're in a consensual a relationship at the moment.
And
like you would still jerk off, but
I
you're
do
not
all the
jerking
time.
off. You're not jerking off 88 times for every time you have sex.
No, I would say
Oh, 88 to 1
I
or
had a
something.
couple years where I could have reversed that. Savage.
Yeah, you're having sex. Yeah, a lot.
That's
With
what
a
I
young,
mean.
healthy man,
Yeah.
young, healthy partner,
In love.
horn dogs. Good on you.
Oh, Mikey Grabbags with some love advice in the chat. He says, if you crank your stick 3 times a day, not going to want to plow your girl. Good to stay horny in a long-term relationship.
Do you think you got to mix
Absolutely.
it up? You got to mix up your environment and your people, places, things, or I think you're gonna start struggling each session.
Are you into toys, John?
Like during what, Matt? Like jerking off?
No, sex.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Pegs.
Like,
You were just talking about variety and stuff.
That's like saying, do you use a ball for basketball?
Not really. I think a lot of people aren't into toys. Are you into
Yeah, they
toys,
suck.
Bobby?
I'm not against it, but I don't think I've really.
Listen, how about this? Let
Maybe a
them do
belt.
whatever they tell you, and you fucking say yes, please, because
How
we
about
have
we let
no
Bobby finish
control
his
over getting
sentence?
there. Huh?
How about we let Bobby finish a sentence?
Nah, I was trailing off.
Fucking hate him.
No,
I'm teaching a young boy some fucking knowledge. You can't.
It's true. I agree, actually, because it's a very young man thing to be against toys.
Yeah,
I'm not against. I'm pro. I just haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen
I'm
to
into it.
your
Well-
pop here and just bend
Well,
on.
fly over to the United Kingdom and you could get a peg in your ass from Tim Smith Brothers.
Yeah, head to
He's already got-
Scranton as well.
No, I don't do
John
that.
will
I
show
don't
you
fuck
some
guys, dude. It's pretty simple. I didn't have to come out on the Kirk Minahan show. I would have got the job, I think, if I came out on the Kirk Minahan show.
What else you got for us, Johnny boy? We hit 2 hours. Well done. We'll wrap it up soon. I can tell Bob's late.
Want to hear Kane talking about soup or?
No, we did that
No, we
already.
heard that already.
We're back this weekend with our first major of the season, the Fawns Masters. We'll be streaming Friday and Saturday. If you're interested in joining the Fawns, I am taking new members every day because I'm throwing out shit bags every day.
Hello,
I'm not-
friends.
That's leadership.
That's leadership. I tell you, the Fawns is a really fun time for Minifans. It was
we
funny.
got,
We
we
were,
got the fucking ad before.
no, I have a good story. So we were Confused Duck did his Best of Steve Robinson, and it was the first time they took calls. That night, we played with a random Minifan, and he goes, "Hey, did you know what? I was the first call ever on the Kirk Minahan show."
And he
So
was.
Swan just bringing people together. So
Dude,
5 years
Fonz has,
later,
like, I would say
beautiful.
10 new people that are now talking and shit. Like they're Fonz does good work.
Actually, from the
That's just
commish, he
great
said
work.
Mikey Grabbags is the rookie of the year for the Fawn so far. So,
Wow.
Mikey Grabbags, rookie of the year, has been a great member, a great new member. to Fawn.
Would you say Confused Duck is top of Minifan of the year so far?
I honestly, I'm not even joking. Like he has the best product on the Minifan network right now.
What's
Like
not
the K Marco saga was so funny to re-listen to. Like, and it brings you back to those old those old school KMS episodes. It's just
Let's go to war.
I've been talking to him. He has a lot. He has a lot that he's going to do now with this brand. So, but he's best product on the channel.
Let me ask you this: has your eyesight gotten worse during this show?
Yeah, I took off my contacts as these are prescription sunglasses. I was hoping Menners called me fat so I could say my mom had breast cancer to do the blind mic. But I was trying to dress up like blind
Wait,
Mike.
we can still do it.
Actually, it was funny. I was talking to John yesterday, BA, and you just have been. What have you been doing recently? Like you've been doing fuck all for the show.
Well, so I'm trying to help out with Fawns now, so like I think that'll be good for the network. Soccer, Jim.
John buried you. John buried you.
Oh my God.
He just knows that's not true.
But yeah, no, I think so. My plan is to do Fawn Squad streams and Fawn Squad pods, and I think that'll be, you got Minifans together. Just it's kind of like a recorded shoot the shit, but I think it'll be fun because the audio. I think the audio would be funny.
Okay,
We had
right,
one.
we heard this spiel before. It's boring.
Yeah,
first.
word.
I'm
I
telling
don't
me
know. You guys
you
brought it up.
Thank
Fuckhead.
God I brought
Hey,
2 promos.
The BA you just done a. Enough of this. Enough
Hello,
of this.
friends.
I love that he can't do anything about it. That's all I care about here tonight.
It's true. Actually, no,
It's
next
gotta
week
kill him.
we'll not be going through this stream yet. The other thing is, BA, you made a good point before the show that KMS Twitter has been very quiet at points during the break.
Yeah, like I always like to look at this stuff. People forget I was the Mike and the Minifans exposed Dave Cullinane for not posting on Instagram for 3 months. And like when Kirk's off, you think the Twitter account, do on this day, do random clips, like just do anything. And I saw it was like the account didn't post for 2 days and they only retweeted like 4 things or something like that. And it's just like, it's just laziness. Like they have a guy that should be cut from Doge spending, working on it. Like they have so many things that they could be doing, and it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be something like, So
They've been doing a lot of reposting. What is
they
your
just
grade?
repost.
What's your grade for the producers over this break, Menor, so far?
Oh, A+.
I don't disagree much.
I think they've done a lot of good they've done a lot of producer shows that have been better than they have been in the past. They've been promoting the network. Justin has been available for the network.
Dave is taking questions from Tommy Quinlan.
So I think overall A+. But the proof in the pudding will be when the lights go on April 16th. What does that studio like? When they started up in January after the break, they had nothing. So I think we're still.
The studio was a shithole to begin with, so I don't think it could be much worse. Like it's
my biggest point against them is just I think they needed to have a whole different vision for how the show is shot.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just upgrade the way they did it. Yeah.
All right, I gotta meet Andy soon for pizza. So, Bobby,
lunch after this.
Yep, Papagino's.
Hey guys.
So Bobby, where can the listeners find your show?
On the
they can find it wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
What's it called again?
It's called Flop University with me and my buddy Danny. We just give each other shit for an hour.
Is Danny a Minifan?
He is. He's going to be, I will say, but right now, no.
Isn't that the best feeling when you're just letting one of your buddies dip their toe into just acid?
Yeah, I'm telling him though. I'm like, be careful, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing with Bree, and it's so toxic. It's so toxic.
I blink my eyes, and it's 2 years later, and here I am.
Yeah,
All right. So next episode we'll put on the Minifan Network. Send it to me.
I will. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Although I mean, all right. No,
you record
fine by
video.
Me. It's your network, so if you want it. If you like it that much that you want it.
Well, I just think I want to see a young Minifan get the biggest possible platform.
Clip that.
Yeah, clip
I want to see a young Minifan. Clip it. But someone clip that.
As long as everyone knows that it's not, Minifan related.
Yeah, Pat and Cat, there's shows on that.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Show.
Now you'll get shit just because like Kirk will be like, I just don't watch the shows that aren't about the show.
Yeah.
And fans will give you shit because of that, but that doesn't matter. That's a good little spot to be in. Make him interested.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe. I'm in. Let's go.
Excellent. BA, thank you for joining us. The Redemption Tour, the Cloud King is back. Thank you for bringing all the bits.
Thank you. You can check me out, Fawns, and also VP of the Robbie V Spaces. So Fawn Squad streams, Fawn Squad pods, VP Robbie V Spaces.
Very prestigious position too.
So some fabulous brands, the up and coming brands, and and thank you, Menners. It's always a pleasure to chat with you for a couple hours.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, John, for coming back from your break. Good job tonight. We have Jeff D. Lowe and Brando tomorrow night. It's around 7:30, but Jeff's schedule moves quite quickly now that he's conquered this debilitating sleep problem. He'll probably.
And I'm not entirely sure Brando understands time zones.
No, we've got the Fonz golf later in the week. There'll be more content. Go back and watch the Unrelated show with Bobby and his stalker and Jackson. If you missed it, go back and watch Clemmer and Brando. It's a fun little chat. Minifans looking for content. There is a lot out there. But yeah, thanks, guys.
I'm just not ending it yet. I'm just gonna make it awkward.
That guy's a dick, eh?
That guy's so mean. God. Anyways,
You say that you sing every night.
Yeah.
Yes. I got
What did
that
you
on
sing
my
last
list.
night?
Yeah.
What did you sing last night?
What did I?
So
we
again,
can
so
pull-
just
let's pull.
sorry,
let's
Bobby.
pull the
So
YouTube
just for-
history.
so
So
for,
do you
for
do-
context, Bobby
I-
stated that he does